Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Bikes for Death podcast. As always, my name is Patrick, and I'm your host. And on today's episode, I am riding the East Texas Showdown 400-mile route. I'm doing an ITT, or as I like to call it, an individual timed tour of the route. By no means was I ever racing or intended to race, but I did intend to push myself. I intended to ride the entire route and push myself and just see how it went. I was super curious. It's been a while since I'd ridden this far and tried to kind of go this hard without stopping and taking pictures and enjoying the scenery and camping and all that stuff. But in true East Texas Showdown spirit, I thought I'd give it a go. So I decided to do an ITT about 2 weeks before the actual event started. And it was my hope to have this episode out before the East Texas Showdown. But it is the week after the Showdown. We had a fabulous turnout. We had a fabulous event. It started out a little rainy in the morning, but then the weather got absolutely beautiful. And we're going to be talking a lot more about the East Texas Showdown. In fact, on April 5th, I am recording a live podcast. This will be only the second time Bikes for Death has ever done a live episode. So that episode is going to be all about the East Texas Showdown, and I have 4 great guests that are going to be joining me, and we would like to invite you to join us as well. That episode is going to be recorded live at Cycle East in Austin, Texas on April 5th, which is a Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. And we are setting up an RSVP. It's all free. We want you to come and enjoy and be a part of the conversation. But we would like to have an idea of how many people are coming so we can plan accordingly. So we will be throwing up an RSVP soon. It's not ready yet, but just watch our social media channels, newsletter, that kind of stuff. You can follow me and obviously Cycle East as well. And we're going to be putting out more information about that very soon. And so for that reason, because we're doing that whole episode on, let me mention who my guests are going to be. I skipped right over that part. So I have 4 guests that are going to be joining me on that episode. Russell Pickavance, who is actually the owner of Cycle East. We got Ariel Marlowe, who did the lowdown this year, and Stephanie Hall and Hannah Simon, who shared first place on the women's showdown category. So that's going to be our lineup. It's going to be a great time. We are going to have a lot of fun. So please join us for that. And since we are going to be talking a lot about the East Texas Showdown in the future, I'm not going to talk a lot about the race right now. It went great. Today's episode is me. I take you along for the ride. I record interactions along the way with people I see on the side of the road, with attendants at the stores that I stop in, and essentially just try to take you along for the ride, share my thoughts. I did a similar type episode like this back in October when I rode the lowdown, and that episode was pretty well received, so I thought I'd give it another shot, take another stab at it. One note, I guess, about this episode is that towards the end, I recorded a rather long segment during the ride, and I had my headphone microphone thing in my ear and ready, but I failed to plug it into my phone. So the audio quality goes down pretty substantially there for a good chunk of time towards the end of the podcast. That's my bad, but I couldn't really recreate it. Just going to have to pay more attention to that in the future, and I apologize to your ears right now. But now I'd like to invite you to join me as I take a stab at the East Texas Showdown 400-mile route. And we'll talk a little bit more about this on today's episode, but through a somewhat comical turn of events, my editor, Ben Crannell, ended up joining me doing his own ITT. So we're going to hear a little bit from him as well on today's episode. And I have to say, it was a misfortune on Ben's part, but a fortune on my part to have just someone out there. We spent very little time riding together. He was much faster than me. But it was just mentally reassuring and comforting to know that somebody else was out there, Yeah. So, listen, we're going to make it short and sweet today. No patrons, no ads, no nothing. This is a complete freebie throwback. So, without further ado, let's get into my episode with me. And before we get into it, let's have Miles Arbor kick it off with the Bikes for Death theme song.
You load up your bike, you ride away from home. You could be with your friends or you could be alone. You ride for a day or maybe more. You just love being in the great outdoors. Everything you need is strapped to your bars, including that new pillow you got from Santa Claus. And then you think, oh shit, to yourself. You left that super lightweight tent on the living room shelf. Bikes or death. Bikes or death. Podcast.
All right, let's start our... Woo, first pedal feels good. Oh wait, I gotta start my Strava or my Ride with GPS. Navigate.
Right.
Yeah, we're going right. Oh wait, no, we go straight. Yeah, I think. I don't even... No, we go right. Yeah, we do go right. I know what I'm doing. That's so funny.
Immediately missed the wrong.
Yeah, missed the very first turn on your very own route.
Well, it's kind of confusing because it's like an intersection of like 4 directions on the map. Yeah.
Okay, only 399.9 miles to go.
I can't look at that number. I don't look at that on the screen ever.
Yeah, I try not to look at it too much, not worry about it. All right, good morning. It is 9:13 a.m. on Friday, and at mile 15 here on the East Texas Showdown 400-mile course. 15 miles in, we hit the first little bit of gravel here on Old on Alaska Road, or Old Groveton, depending on what map you're looking at. And yeah, I figured I'd just hop on and get this party started. I had kind of thought about recording a intro to this episode before I actually got out here, talking about my goals and my fears and my setup, but I didn't, and I think that's because I've just been kind of anxious, and honestly it didn't even feel real until I got on the bike this morning. And even now, about an hour in, I'm just now starting to kind of sink my teeth into what I'm doing and start to wrap my head around it. It's going to be a long time on the bike, but I'm in a good mood. Spirits are high. Had a lot of anxiety and just nerves going into this morning, and I think a lot of that is I haven't done a ride this long in 5 years. Actually, I did the Grand Gravel 500. I started that 5 years ago, almost to the day. I started it, the anniversary for that was like 2 days ago. So it's been 5 years since I've ridden my bike this far in this manner. So there's just a lot of unknowns. I feel like in many ways I'm in better shape overall than I was 5 years ago. But 5 years ago I was getting some more miles in on the bike. This time in, I'm coming off of a concussion. I got a concussion on February 3rd and was kind of feeling the effects of that for about 10 days or so, and couldn't really do any working out, or just light exercise is all I could really manage, and that really set me back. So I'm coming into this one with a question mark on fitness and So we're going to answer some questions out here. That's what I'm out here to do. Answer some questions. I'm curious. I have no idea how this is going to go. Got 400 miles. I've got three different plans or strategies. One of them would have me riding 140 miles today, then 155 tomorrow, and then finishing off with like 66 miles, something like that. The other one would be ride 216 miles today, and that would get me to Salmon Lake, sleep there, and then from there either finish off the remaining 184 miles or whenever I pass the Bullet, I could even take a nap at the Bullet before I finish the last 66 miles. So those are kind of the options that I feel like I'm juggling, and don't really have any goals other than I want to finish. I know everybody says that, but I don't really care how fast I go. I'm not trying to set any records, that's for sure. But I am going to try to push myself, which for me looks kind of like a slow and steady pace for 400 miles with as little stopping as possible for resupplies and whatever. I mean, I say that, but my definition of like brief pit stops is like much different than other people's. But we'll just see how it goes. I mean, if I rode my bike for, like, let's say I get to Whataburger, which is at mile 140, I might not mind hanging out there for a period of time. I have no idea. I'm just going to see how I feel. But yeah, so as you can tell, I don't really have a plan. I'm literally just going to wing it. But one thing I can tell you I'm planning on is not camping, because I have zero camp gear. None, not even an emergency bivvy, nothing. So the best I can do if I want to camp would be to put on all the clothes that I have, which isn't very much, and go sleep in some pine needles, which I don't plan on doing. And so, yeah, a lot of question marks surrounding my physical and mental state. Question marks surrounding what my actual plan is and what my goals are. Question mark whether I need my sleeping gear or not, who knows? But like I said, I'm out here to answer some questions. I'm going to find some answers. This is a truth-seeking bike ride. What else? Let's talk about my bike. Let's talk about my setup this year. So first off is the bike itself is a Panorama ridden, which is Panorama's carbon gravel bike. And had this bike for probably like 5 months. Really like it, like a lot. It's super fast. It's a great bike, fits great, really comfortable. But this will be the first bike packing trip I go on with it. And like most bikes, it feels good weighted down. But so that's the bike, and then we're getting to Old Groveton, actual meat and potatoes. It rained last night. We had a big storm come through, really high winds, like 60 mile an hour winds, and in areas around us there was tornado warnings and tornado watches and whatnot. So I'm hoping that rain will kind of knock some of this sand down and make for a little bit faster rolling, less dusty. And so far, what I'm seeing of Old Groveton is pretty nice. I'll add more commentary as I see more of it, because I know people who are going to be riding out here in the East Texas Showdown here in a couple weeks are going to be very interested in this road's condition. But right now, I'm tempted to say it's almost fast rolling. So yeah, I got my panorama catted in. I just got in some Rockgeist bags. I'm running their wedge triangle bag in the frame with a 1 liter Nalgene on the seat down tube and a 1 liter Nalgene on the down tube on the bottom of the frame. I got their Cache top tube bag, the extra large one, and it is a monster, but I love it. Hold all my electronics in there. My little medicine and toiletries are in there. Anything I need to access quickly. I've got in the very front, I've got a little bar bag from Farewell Bags out of New Mexico. And it's just tiny. Like, it's probably like only 2 liters of volume. It's very small. And right now there's nothing in there. It's just for me to stuff some food in or throw my puffy in, or, just extra storage essentially. Then I also have 2 handlebar bags. And one of them, I've got like clear glasses for riding at night. I got some peanut butter sandwiches, gloves. And the other one is empty, and that one's just for trash primarily. One thing I got up here is this little lock, and I'm not going to call it a bike lock because it's more like a luggage lock. It's very lightweight and not very secure, but I just wanted a little something to be able to tie my bike up with when I run into a gas station or whatever. Make it so it's not super easy just to walk off with my bike. And whenever I'm in these resupply places, I'm trying to be pretty mindful of the bike, and when I can, I bring it into the establishment. But just kind of see how it goes. Then I got my frame bag. In there I've got my tools, my pump, and peanut butter sandwiches, peanut butter and honey. I think that's all that's in there. I'll say that, like, one of the things that had me nervous was this is the second furthest ride I've ever gone on, and this is by far the least amount of stuff I've ever taken with me, and it just feels so weird. But it's also kind of exciting because I don't feel like I have anything, which really forces my hand in many respects. So from a food aspect, I'm relying pretty heavily on resupply points along the route. Just gonna refuel as I go. I started off with 6 peanut butter and honey sandwiches, and that's it. I have no goos, no electrolytes. I mean, literally nothing. So that's it. We're gonna see. And then for a seat pack, I got the Rockgeist Gondola, which is technically their dropper post seat pack. But it's only like 4 or 5 liters. It's real minimal. And I just have some clothes in there. So my clothing system is pretty minimal. I'm wearing Chubby's shorts, the Chubby's brand. They have like a liner on the inside and just like kind of an athletic short. No padding. That was another decision I made. I was tempted to bring like chamois to maybe put on the latter stages of this race or this ITT, but I opted not to bring them at all. So got 1 pair of shorts and I'm wearing them. And then what else? I got my my ASAT camo. It's a wool top layer, long sleeve shirt with a hoodie. Well, there's Ben. I can see him. I'm going to talk about Ben in a minute. He's out here with me too. So I'm wearing this long sleeve wool hoodie. And I've got on a puffy vest right now. And then I got on wool socks. And so this is the only shirt and pair of shorts that I brought. I like the long sleeve and I like wool. Long sleeve is great just to keep the sun off a little bit. It's not supposed to get too hot. I think the high is like 78 tomorrow. So not too hot. And, wool obviously performs well even when it's wet. It doesn't stink as much. So this is kind of my go-to shirt that I like to wear, just because it's versatility. So then I got a lightweight rain windbreaker. I've got a heavyweight wool top, long sleeve top, and I've got leg warmers. I've got a wool hat, cycling cap that goes under the helmet, and I've got a little buff, a little like neck gaiter. And that is it. I think that is everything that I have on my bike right now, aside from like the charging banks and the lights and stuff. So yeah, very little for me. So yeah, that's what I'm running with. Now let's talk about Ben. So Ben Crannell is the editor of the podcast. And earlier this week, I had posted something about doing my ITT this weekend. And he messaged me, he's like, hey, I'm in Texas. Oh, we got our first dog up here. All right. We're going to be counting dogs on this trip. This one looks interested. Oh, yeah. Hey, friend. Can't tell with this one. Hey, buddy. Oh, he's checking me out. Very chill dog. Yeah, he's very calm. He was just curious. So I'm talking to Ben earlier this week, and he was like, I'm in Texas. He's from Tennessee. And we quickly realized that for some reason he put the East Texas Showdown race on his calendar for this weekend, but it's not for 2 more weekends. So he just happens to be in Texas. And I was doing this solo, but I was happy to have a little company out here on the course, and so was he. So it really worked out. I don't know how happy he is about it, but I know he's happy not to be out here completely alone, and so am I. So it's kind of a comedy of errors, but I'm okay with it. So we definitely are both doing our own ITT. This morning, he had forgot his multi-tool, but luckily he camped right off of the route. And so whenever he rode past, he dipped in to get his multi-tool, and I pulled away. I just kept going. And so I was wondering how long I would keep a lead on him, because he's definitely a little faster than me. He's not leaving me in the dust, but he's probably averaging like a half a mile or a mile an hour faster than me, something like that. So he's just slowly poking ahead. But he caught me a little while ago. And we're here on Old Groveton, which you can see straight I can probably see straight like a mile at least right now. And he's probably close to a mile ahead of me. So, tell you what, man, like, the idea of coming out here on a solo ITT is a lot more intimidating than I kind of had thought about or realized. It's, nothing I'd done before. And it's kind of scary. were just like, I don't know if scary is the right word, but unsettling at a minimum. To just, if you know you're driving out here because you're riding 400 miles and then, in the morning you just roll out from your car by yourself. I guess I still don't know what it's like, but I know what it was like in my head whenever I was thinking about it. But luckily, okay. Watch out for the bridges on Old Groveton Road. Yeah, luckily Ben is here, and it's super nice to have somebody to start with and another dot to watch. And neither one of us are very competitive with other people. We're definitely not like racing each other, but we're also not riding together, and we're both trying to give our own version of what a good effort looks like, and we'll see how it all shakes out. But it'll just be, very comforting to know that somebody else is out here. So it's pretty funny mistake. I guess he put it on his calendar and got the dates wrong initially, and then just never revisited the numbers to make sure they're right. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Old Groveton Road. It is looking mighty fine after that rain. It's wet on the edges, but the center is all dried out, and it's not rutted out or anything right now. It's actually, this is the best condition I've ever seen it in. So we're getting lucky to start off our day. Oh, it's windy. Oh, you can hear the wind. Yeah. Let's talk about the fucking weather. So last night we had that big storm roll through. I was actually going to start this ride on Wednesday initially, but the weather, wasn't looking good, and I'm glad I didn't because of all the tornadoes and stuff. That would have sucked. And then starting today, Friday through Sunday, the weather is just perfect. Other than today, we have some wind. The highs are going to be in the 70s, lows in the 40s all 3 days. Completely clear skies, no chance of rain. Today we've got 20 to 40 mile an hour winds with like gusts that go up to 40, I think, 30 something. And it's coming out of the northwest, and we're riding northeast. So it's kind of, a little bit into us, and if we're headed a little more east, and it'll be pushing us. But today's going to be a little more challenging with the wind, for sure. It'll be working against us. But today's the only day that's supposed to be windy, and then we should get really smooth sailing, hopefully, from wind and weather for the rest of the ride. So that's good. Kind of feel like, if we're going to have wind, and it's going to be a little difficult doing it on day one when you have fresh legs, is better. So the weather's looking good. We picked a good weather window. Overall, I'm feeling pretty good. Can't complain too much. We're only like 20 miles in. Long way to go. All right. I think that's it for now. Oh, I forgot to talk about my aero bars. I'm running aero bars. There you go. What else do you need to know? Yeah, I'm a big aero fan, aero bar supporter. Or actually, they're supporting me. Think about it. But I'm a fan just for comfort. But today they've been nice to get out of the wind as well. And then I'm running these Ritchie Beacon. I think they're 52 centimeter bars that flare out. I put some fresh gel tape underneath with 3 millimeter thick bar tape. Call them the grandpa grips. Try to keep some hand comfort. And see how things work. I'm mostly worried about how much pain I'm going to be in. I know pain is coming. I just don't know how much. Pain would include the saddle area. That's going to be yeah, it's just an unknown. You don't know what we're going to get. We're going to find out. So, no escaping it. All right, well, I see Ben up there. I'm not going to try to catch him. I'm just going to ride my ride. Don't worry about Ben. All right, mile 49. It's right a little after noon. And I'm coming into Apple Springs at mile 55. Right now, Ben is about 4 miles ahead of me, according to the tracker. I'm curious if he's going to stop there and resupply or not. It's only 55 miles in, but I'm thinking I'm going to stop there for a quickie. They have a Subway and a grocery store all combined into one, and get a sandwich and something to go, because the resupply point at mile 75 in Ratcliffe it's not bad. I ate there, I don't know, I had a ham and cheese sandwich that was there last time. I might do that again. Just depends on how hungry I am. I'm trying to stay on top of my eating. So, yeah, I'm going to try to be quick with it though. Still feeling pretty good. So I'm in the National Forest, the Davy Crockett National Forest now. And this is just a really lovely stretch of road. It comes at about mile 45 on all the courses. And it's just a nice double track surrounded by loblolly pine trees. And it's quite lovely, especially on a day like this. So, yeah, it's been interesting how I work my way through, my mindset as I go through today. It's definitely like evolving, and I'm kind of feeling, there's a good mud. That's the mud pit right there. What am I feeling? Feeling good. Some things hurt, but nothing too bad. So we're not even going to talk about them yet. But I'd say that, I'm just really trying to pay attention to what I need and just focus on just moving forward. Even if I'm not going real fast, I just want to see how far I can, I just want to go. I don't want to stop and fiddle around, at least right now. I want to make as many miles as I can while I'm feeling relatively good. So, yeah, it's been fun, Ben. He's like 4 miles ahead of me, 5 miles. I'm curious if he's going to stop. And I know he doesn't need to. I'm pretty sure with the food and water that I know he has. But yeah, I'm not really racing him. But it's fun I'd like to catch him, partly just to say hi. I know it would be fun if we would leapfrog each other a few times or something, just to keep it interesting. But I don't know if I'll ever see him again. We'll see. I'm definitely not going to chase him, but it's fun to have him out there and kind of see what he's going to do. But, so I've been doing some math. Instead, I'm at mile 50. I'm going to try to get to mile 100 before sunset, which is like around 6:30. And that should get me there to Jacksonville and the Whataburger at mile 140, close to midnight, hopefully. And I do plan on kind of taking a little bit longer of a break there, maybe 45 minutes. And that's really my first big decision. But right now, I feel like I'm going to just keep going. I can't imagine that
I'm going to be ready to sleep at midnight, you know. I'm looking to push it through the night, so. See, oh, a tree just fell. Oh, fuck. That always freaks me out. With that storm we had come through, there's quite a bit of, actually there's a tree just in the road back there that I had to get off my bike and step over. I was wondering if Ben bunny hopped it. It really wasn't that high. It was an easy bunny hop, but I was just pictured myself biffing it, doing something stupid. And so I got off and I did the responsible thing. I wonder if Ben was a kamikaze. See, it's fun to have someone out here to think about. Seeing this tire trash right now. What else was I going to talk about? For entertainment, I brought an audiobook of Lonesome Dove, which ironically was recommended by Ben before we knew that we were going to be riding together. And a couple other people on social media recommended it as well. So I figured I'd give it a shot. So far, it's pretty good. It's actually, I live in Brazos County, which is on the Brazos River in Texas, and they reference the Brazos River quite frequently so far on the book, and so it's, you know, an area that's close to home, which makes it a little bit more interesting. But that's what I've been doing. I've spent most of the day just in silence, and then the last, 15 miles or so, I put that book on, and I figured I'd hop on and just give a little update and see what we're going to do. I'll probably quick stop at 55 miles, quick stop at 75 miles, and semi-prolonged stop at 140 miles. That's the plan. So keep it moving. I'm going to get 2 of these raspberry cheesecake and 1 chocolate chip cookie, please. And that'll do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
No. How long are you going to bike for?
400 miles.
Good.
Did that other guy come through here?
He said he's going to go for 800?
No, he's doing 400 too.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it wrong.
We're both doing the same thing.
Y'all had that good weather last night, huh?
Well, that's why we started this morning.
3:43. It takes a lot to ride a bike that long. I didn't even hear it last night. I slept through the whole thing. And they said it was thundering and lightning and all that stuff, and I wasn't paying no attention. I went to sleep with my earphones on, and I'll never do that. I did that one time. I mean, I don't remember.
Thank y'all so much.
You have a good one.
Appreciate it. All right, got my stuff. Oh, and my bike is still here. And glad this place is here and they're nice, but it always takes an hour and a half to get anything in there, I swear. They are nice, though.
Did you need help with anything, sir?
Yeah, I'll get a cheeseburger.
There's a mouse right there. I'm just joking. What is that?
Oh,
I'm so nosy.
it's just a microphone.
It looks like a little baby angel.
It's for my headphones. So when I'm talking,
Oh, it's not.
it's for the wind. It blocks the wind out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. It looks like I think they
sorry.
call it like a rat tail or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like a little mouse right there.
Yeah.
I like that shirt.
Thank you.
Come over here and get whatever you need.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a cheeseburger and I'm gonna look around a little bit and grab some stuff.
About my oven's cold, so it's gonna take about 20 minutes. Is that okay?
I might
Would a deli sandwich be a little faster?
Yes, it would be a lot faster.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll
Do you like it on white or wheat?
wheat. Yeah.
Are you on the white?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did another guy come through here?
Carbs, huh?
Yeah. I need a lot of stuff. Did another guy come through here?
Yeah, he came through.
Yep.
So you've gone 70 miles today?
Yeah, this is mile 75 so far. We're doing...
How far are you going to go today?
I don't know. I'm going to try to get to at least 216. And then...
Today?
Well, it'll be tomorrow at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like...
I was telling him that I probably wouldn't make it past the driveway.
I'm in pain. It hurts a little.
But
I'm trying to get it over.
And I would get better and better, and I could do it.
Yeah, I definitely didn't start with 400 miles. Oh, man.
Yeah, your friend dropped his wallet right here.
Oh, no. Did he come back and get it?
Dropped it right outside the door, and the customer found it.
And so he got it?
Yeah, well, she came and turned it in, and I said, I think it's that guy that's riding the bike. I noticed, because he left his wallet sitting on the counter, and he walked to the back. And I was going to tell him, don't you ever do that again.
I'm glad he got it. That would have been a bummer. Try not to leave mine.
Do you need that receipt?
No, thank you. In a couple weeks, y'all will have about 200 of these folks.
Yeah.
Of us.
Have you been through before? Have you rode with them before?
No, I've done some. Well, yeah, I did.
You guys are actually a lot of fun.
I came in October. I saw you made me a sandwich back in October.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll see you again. All right, mile 77, 3:45 p.m. Ben is about 20 miles ahead of me. I'm at 77 miles. I think he's at like 96 or 97 miles. So he's putting a spanking on me, but good for him. Good for him. I'm going to be out here a little bit longer than him, I think, at this rate, but shit's getting real. So do some updating. I stopped there at for lunch at Apple Springs, mile 55. I just got a foot-long sandwich and a candy bar and some water. I ate half the sandwich really fast, shoved it down my face, threw the rest of it on my bike, and rode to Kennard, I believe, which is at mile 75. And then that's in like that Ratcliffe town, and there I had another quick stop. I just grabbed a deli sandwich and some honey buns, and I slammed a Coke and topped off the water. And next stop for me is probably a mile 140 in Jacksonville, and just for tradition's sake, I'm probably going to stop at Whataburger. It's where everybody stops. And have a nice sit-down meal there and evaluate my life. But there's at mile 120, there's like Bertha's Cafe, something like that, and they close at 8. I think I'm going to miss them, so that means I've got about 60 miles with 3 liters of water, half of a Subway sandwich, a deli sandwich, and a couple honey buns. Oh, that should be fine. That seems about right. I don't know. What did I want to talk about? I had very important things to say, I'm telling you. And it was having all these profound thoughts, and then I hit the recorder, and of course they're gone. I've got a new goal. The goal is not to go fast per se, but it's to get this over with as fast as possible. That's what's motivating me now. I feel like at some point it's just going to suck. And the faster I can get that suck over with, probably the better. And I'm also wondering if how far you can go, and if you could essentially do the route and finish before the repercussions of your actions have fully had an opportunity to catch up to you. Like, can you outchase some of the aches and pains and caloric deficit? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. What can the human body do? That's the question. What can mine do? No idea. We're gonna find out. But so that's the goal. I just want to get done as fast as possible. So that's what I'm currently thinking. That's what's on my mind. And that means that when I'm going into these resupply spots, I'm being pretty fast for me. I think fast I'm not like running through there, but I'm not dilly-dallying. Getting what I need. Whenever I'm going into town, what I do is evaluate, how many miles I have till the next POI, what I currently have, how hungry I am. I just, do an evaluation. I'll probably start doing this about 10 miles before I get to the next resupply. And so then I determine what I need. General idea, usually pretty specific. And that way, whenever I go into the place, whatever it is, I already know what I'm looking for. I got a list in my head. Go in there and grab that and get out and get back on the bike. And I'm not trying to go fast, but I'm just trying to. I know that it's been proven on this podcast many a times that going fast. To go fast in bikepacking, you have to be efficient with your resupply points. You can burn so much time off the bike. So I think that's going to be a big goal for me, is just try to keep it moving along and get it over with as fast as I can. So far my body feels pretty good. I definitely haven't hit any kind of wall or what's the word I'm thinking of? What is that called? Oh, I haven't bonked or anything. Yeah, I haven't bonked or anything. I think I'm doing a decent job of keeping my gas tank fed. Trying to just be eating something probably every 30 minutes. And drinking water. I haven't been drinking a ton of water. It's so cool and nice out that I haven't had to drink much water, but that might catch up to me. But I've peed 3 times in 70 whatever miles. So I feel like that's pretty good. So yeah, and the pee was only a little bit yellow, not super dehydrated yellow. You know what I'm talking about. So I feel good, even though I haven't been drinking a ton, just listening to my body and looking for clues. That's what we are. Bikepackers are just problem solvers. And what problems am I currently dealing with? I tried to stay optimistic about this one, but my back has been really tight, and like there's a really bad knot in it. It's been there for a few days before the ITT, and I just kind of hoped that it would work its way out, I guess. I get those sometimes from stress or anxiety, or I just hold tension there in my back, and I've been feeling that. Luckily it's not too terrible. It's probably a 6 or a 7.
But I am hopeful it'll kind of work its way out. I don't know. If it stays like this, I can definitely keep riding with it. Yeah, so we'll see. I also, my butt's like not super happy, but not super mad. Sometimes it doesn't even feel bad at all. So I haven't got to that point of no return where every little time you touch it, it's so sensitive. The wind has been a major player in today's effort. It's just been crazy. It's mostly coming from the north. It's coming from the northeast. And I would say about half the time it's been into us, and about half the time it's been either a side wind or a slight tailwind or something. Right now, definitely getting a headwind. But it hasn't been too miserable. It's actually kind of kept it a little bit interesting. You really do get so excited when you get a tailwind after just being beat up by the wind for hours or whatever. But I also think it's a little more tolerable because the next 2 days are not supposed to be too windy, and even once the sun goes down tonight, the wind's supposed to die, and the sun should set in about 3 hours. So I'm looking forward to, just like kind of a calm, peaceful night after a wild day, a windy day. Wind just makes everything more like hectic, Okay, that was fun. I feel like there's not enough downhills on this route. Someone needs to do something about that. I'm enjoying the route. So everything up until mile 75, where I just stopped back there, was part of the lowdown. That was basically day one of the lowdown. And what was I gonna say? Oh, I did that back in October, and that I remember that lady that was in there. I think she recognized me or remembered somebody coming in there. Anyway, everything up until that point I'd seen back in October. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it the second time. It's some good riding. Yeah, man, I like this route. I'm pretty pleased with it. Haven't been chased by any dogs at first. Now I'm at 80 miles, no dogs. The roads have been damn near perfect. A little soft in a couple areas, but that rain really made the roads pretty good, and they're only going to get better over the next couple days, so that's something to look forward to. But it's really nice and remote. You just feel like you're out here, and even the paved sections just aren't heavily trafficked or anything, and they're fairly brief, and they're usually quite nice. I haven't seen a section yet that I'm like, oh man, I got to change that or figure out, maybe a better option. So far, I'm liking it. I'm over here like patting myself on the back and shit. Oh, man. 400 miles, so 80 in, that means I've only got 320 left. That's it. I'm pretty much gunning for mile 216. I might even, because I was trying to do the math, and if I get to 216, which is Salmon Lake, I think I could I might get there around 8 a.m. Obviously the sun will be out. Sun is coming up around 7 a.m. right now. And
yeah, I'm wondering if I ride through the night and that sun hits, I'm wondering if I might be able to keep going. Because that would be kind of cool. I'm like, can I do it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to feel like in 190 miles. No, that's not right. Is that right? No. Say 130 miles, yeah. Oh, that's a long ways though. Yeah, so overall I feel I'm starting to get tired. Like I am starting to, oh wow, a hawk. Oh wow, right in front of me. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a red-shouldered hawk. That was the closest I've ever been to one. That was amazing. It flew, it was in this pine tree right to my left. I'm on this red gravel road. I love these red roads, and it's perfect blue skies, not a cloud to be seen. And this red shoulder hawk. Oh, and here's a Chevy truck coming 1,000,000 miles an hour. Oh, that's nice. He slowed down and gave me a wave. Ooh, he was coming in hot. He messed up my whole fucking vibe with the hawk, though. God. Anyway, it was cool. I saw a hawk. He should have been here, all right? I was trying to paint a picture, and that guy just ruined it. It's fucking... I'm going home. That's it. Ride over. Yeah, I like this route. Oh, I hope it stays this good. All right. Oh, Ben's kicking my ass. But I do know a little insider information. I do know that Ben has reserved a spot at Salmon Lake for camping. And I know he's got camping stuff. He's got a pad and a sleeping bag, I think. He's gonna sleep out under their pavilion. But yeah, he might be faster than me, but I'm wondering if I can just go without sleeping. I wonder if I can get tricky. Because I know Ben likes to sleep. I like to sleep too. I shouldn't say everyone likes to sleep. But I know he starts getting sleepy around like 9:30 and 10. He edits my podcast. And that's when he stops texting me back. So I'm going to use all this information and maybe pull a fast one on old Benny. That's right, Ben, I'm coming for you. I'm so glad he's out here. Oh, here's some dogs. All right, I'm going to keep recording so we can get this dog interaction. All right, we got ourselves a medium size, kind of like a golden. Hey puppy, hey, go home. Some kind of sporting dog, no bark. Man, when they don't bark, he's wagging his tail. When they don't bark though, sometimes you just wonder if they're gonna fucking go straight for bite. The bark at least kind of gives you an indication of how upset they are, or if they're just playing, or so. Anyway, I'm alive. And I'm rambling, which is actually great. All right, what else? Anything worth talking about? One of you could ask a goddamn question instead of making me do all the work. Nat City. Oh, shit. Fuck. God. It's a cloud. It's a gnat cloud. A gnat tornado. God, they were like relentless. What the fuck? No gracias. Okay. Wow. I feel violated. I do not consent. Why don't gnats care more about human rights? Because I was just violated. There's Plain Church.
Well, it's a beautiful day. I'm probably, oh yeah, I was talking about the gnats threw me off. I also took a caffeine pill. I think it's 200 milligram, which I believe is like 2 cups of coffee, maybe 4 cups, which is fine. I drink a lot of coffee, like 10 cups before noon. So yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm not lagging too much right now, but I'm trying to keep things positive. I'm trying to keep my energy level high. That's what it is. I want to keep my energy level high. I kind of don't want to hit a low. I want to keep being happy and having fun and feeling good for as long as I can. You can be feeling so poo-poo, and then you get to a downhill, and oh, this is a good one too. Mile 82 on the route. Oh yeah. That was fun. Oh, the temps are getting good. It's 4 o'clock now, and it is getting like cool. It never got too hot. It was like a little, almost like warm, but it's starting to feel just fucking fabulous right now. It's gonna be a nice night. All right, well, I'm gonna either sit in silence or listen to my book. I don't know. I'm gonna listen to my heart and see how I feel. Alright, that one was y'all's fault. I just missed my turn about 2 miles back. God damn it. I was too busy talking and not paying attention to the route. And I wanted some bonus miles, obviously, so... Oh, there goes a deer. We'll see. If I didn't come down this way, I would have missed the deer. And that would have been a bummer. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I just added on. So it'll end up being 5 miles that I just added on. Just for fun. Isn't that nice? Adding on bonus miles early on in the ITT. Oh well. That's all I had to say. I just had to blame y'all. See what I do for podcast? I go hard. I make mistakes. Oh, I think I have to climb that fucking hill. Oh my god. Oh god, no. I got excited by that hill. I wonder, oh my gosh. Well, that was fun. See you at the top. Good morning, good morning. It is 9:40 on Saturday morning. I'm at mile 145, and things got weird yesterday. I didn't update. I'm trying to remember exactly where I left off, but I know after Ratcliffe, I developed some pretty bad heartburn. So that was about mile 75 yesterday. And I was just struggling with that heartburn. My next resupply point after mile 75 was at mile 140. So I had a good 65 miles of just not feeling great. Mostly just the heartburn. I mean, normal fatigue and saddle sores and sore legs and everything like that, but really none of that was too bad. It was just the heartburn that was making me really nauseous and kind of made it miserable. It's really funny how quickly your mood and your attitude and your
I don't even know, like, just your mindset can change. I know that when good morning. Yeah, good to see you. That's a good bark. You should be proud. I bet all your friends are impressed. Yeah, so, man, going into mile 100 yesterday, I hit that right at the sunset, which was my goal. I wanted to hit 100 miles before the sun set, which I did, and then I wanted to get to Whataburger before noon. I think I got there at like right after noon. Their lobby didn't used to close. It used to be open 24 hours a day. But now it closes at noon, at least on Friday night. So that was kind of a bummer. Going into Jacksonville at mile 140, that's my first real decision as to whether or not I'm going to grab a hotel or keep going to mile 216 at Salmon Lake. But yeah, it's funny because like yesterday evening, I was mentally prepared to ride through the night and potentially even pass Salmon Lake and just keep riding. I wanted to see how far I could go. So like mentally, I feel like I was ready. I feel like I was doing all the things to, take care of my body and be in a good headspace to just plow ahead. But once the sun set, things got different. Things got a little harder. It got colder, and I think just mentally more draining. I really like night riding because you're just in your own little light bubble and the world gets small and stuff. But like, I don't know, last night I just wasn't motivated by it. I was finding it a little more challenging to not know, where the climbs are and where the downhills are, and all of a sudden dogs are popping out, and I don't know, it just, it was a combination of things. It was my heartburn. It was that it was colder than I expected, and I had, I packed pretty light, so that's one of the dangers of going lighter. And that was one of the things that kind of forced my hand a little bit, just because I was getting pretty cold. It was already midnight, so I'd have about 6 more hours of night riding, and my toes were already frozen, and I was just getting colder and colder as it went. And it wouldn't have been terrible, but it was hard mentally preparing myself and just wrapping my head around that. So I got to Whataburger, and the lobby was closed, which was a major bummer because that's what I was looking forward to. Sitting in Whataburger and kind of evaluating my life, eating some food and drinking some coffee, and trying to just make a plan as to if I would keep going or if I was going to get a hotel. But when the lobby was closed and there was nowhere else open, there was nowhere I could sit inside and just recoup and make a plan. So that kind of forced my hand a little bit, and I just made my decision rather quickly to keep going, to get a hotel. Which turned out to be a bit of a shit show. I went to There's a hotel right across the street called like Tailwinds, something like that, Tradewinds. And I booked a spot on booking.com before I went there. So I got there and like the guy was a complete asshole to me. It was like, close to 1 o'clock in the morning. I roll up on my bike and he's like, I tell him, I say, hey, good evening. I got a reservation here. He said, with me? I said, yeah. I did it through booking.com. And he said, well, then you have a reservation with booking.com. You do not have a reservation with me. I said, okay, well, I'm not sure what you want me to do here. And he told me, he asked for my ID. And I meant to bring my ID, but I forgot it. I brought my cycling wallet with just some cash and my card, and that's it. And I meant to put my ID in there and I forgot it. So this guy, he said he couldn't check me in without an ID. And I said, dude, I rode 150 miles, man, it's the middle of the night. And he just pointed at this sign, didn't even say anything, he just tapped on the glass, and the sign said ID required to make reservations or whatever. So his whole demeanor was just really shitty towards me. He was, ooh, this is nice, but I'm trying to make sure I'm going the right direction, 30 miles an hour, we're cooking now. I'm really good at downhill. I'm a downhill specialist. But wait, there's more. Oh, my legs are so sore. Yeah, so that interaction was pretty unsettling. It was pretty wild how rude he was to me. Just for no reason. I don't know if he thought I was a homeless person or what, but anyway. Then I was worried, because then I was like, man, every place is going to want a freaking ID. But I went to Best Western, and howdy. I'd like to reserve a room, or book a room.
How many beds?
Just one. Sorry, my bike is so loud.
So just one bed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the rate on one bed tonight is $99 before tax. The after tax being $114.99.
Okay.
All right, may I see your ID?
I just have my card.
I do need an ID of some kind. If you have anything, passport.
I don't have anything. I'm 145 miles away from my car. I just got my card and some cash. I know my driver's license number.
The thing is, I just need an ID so that I can verify that the card is, and that's not to say that you may have taken the card or something, but just to verify that the card you're using is yours.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I pay on one of those online things?
If you can book it online, I suppose.
Okay. Let me do that. Thank you. I'm riding 400 miles, and that would have...
Yeah, I definitely don't want to risk it.
I appreciate it. Next time I'll definitely bring an ID. I didn't even think about it. So I just booked it in the lobby right there, and he got me a room, which was pretty sweet because, I was definitely thinking that I was going to just keep riding or sleeping behind a church, or I don't know what I would have done. But once you make up your mind to sleep, you're kind of set on it. And the idea of keep moving and being out in the cold the rest of the night was a real bummer of an idea. So I was very happy to get that room. And yeah, I got the room and ate my Whataburger and drank some water and went to sleep. I probably got in bed. Yeah, I got in bed at like 1:45 and I set my alarm for 7:30. But I didn't get out of bed till like 8:15. And it's easy to justify sleeping in a little when you know you're riding 155 miles today. And you rode 145 yesterday and you're already tired. It's easy to think to yourself, you know, I could probably use an extra 10 minutes here. That's probably okay. So, yeah, that's yesterday. Overall, like, I'm not bummed. Like, it would have been cool if I could have kept pushing. But, you know, one of the plans that I had written down was the one I'm currently doing, which is 140 the first day, 155 the second day, and 100 the third day. So that's the plan I'm on now. Yesterday was, on paper, yesterday should be the most challenging day of the ride. The wind was just absolutely crazy. It was a headwind much of the day. But the wind was just swirling, so it was just impossible to get into any kind of rhythm. Like, it's at one point it's like behind you and then it's in front of you, and it's just it's everywhere. You know how wind is. It can be a real pain in the ass, you know? But not only that, but yesterday had the majority of the climbing on the route. So all day we were climbing, and we had the headwind. So it was overall probably the most challenging day on paper. Today is about 10 miles more, but mostly downhill over that 150 miles. And the weather today is just perfect. High of 75, legitimately not a single cloud in the sky, just blue skies and no wind. There's like 2-3 mile an hour wind today, so it would have been cool to have a tailwind, you know, if I want to be picky here. But no wind and mostly downhill. Sounds like a good day on the bike to me. So, yeah, so the goal is to get to Trinity, which is about mile 300 on the route, and get a hotel there. There's like they have a hotel and they also have like a Airbnb type thing, like a cabin. So I'm definitely a little concerned about this ID thing. I don't know. I mean, there's not much I can do about it. I'm just gonna have to sweet talk one of those places into letting me stay there. It's not gonna be quite as cold tonight. I think it's gonna be about 5 degrees warmer. So, you know, the next option after that, after Trinity, is the Bullet, and that would be at mile like 335. So I'd have to go like another 35 miles to get back to the Bullet and sleep there. So that's what I'm working with today. Let's do an evaluation. My knees, my left knee in particular, it was hurting all day yesterday. It just feels like there's a bunch of fluid in there. I don't even know. It just feels stiff and grumpy. Right knee is just like normal grumpy. My sit bones, man, this morning they were all inflamed and swollen and stuff. And they were really tender to get on, but it's crazy, like, after a while, the saddle pain just, like, goes away. At least it is right now. I mean, I can feel it, but it's not that bad. Yesterday, my back was really tight. I've been carrying a lot of tension in my lower back, and I don't want to jinx it, but it feels like it might have let up last night, which was another reason why I was thinking about sleeping, is just to, oftentimes if I sleep well, it just relaxes those back muscles and I wake up and my back is feeling better. So I was hoping for that, and that seems like it might be what's going on, which is really exciting. My hands are in pain, the palm of my hands. I would rate them probably a 6, between a 6 and a 7 out of 10. My wrists are sore. It's kind of normal for me, hand and wrist pain. You know, physically I'm moving a little slower today, but I'm moving, averaging 9.5 miles. Whoa. Yeah, I'm just going to try to keep it moving. Only one way to get back to the car, and that's pedaling. But I'm going to try to enjoy today. It's a beautiful day, and that's another thing, man. It's like, it's hard to keep that mental stimulation at night when you can't see what's around you. And I really felt like I was missing out. I feel like I was going through some pretty cool stuff. I mean, I know what it is because I made the route, but I wanted to see it, you know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having some daylight, riding in the daylight, nice weather, and seeing the sights. So we got, let's see, 8 more hours of daylight. I could do 100 miles. So might have to do about 40 miles at night, which would, man, if I could get there by midnight, that would be sick. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know what's possible. I hadn't done a century in a while. I'm trying to remember the last time I did a century. Maybe like, it's probably 2019 before the pandemic. So, yeah, that was fun to do a century, do 140 miles. The century was pretty easy. I was surprised. Yeah, it was crazy. I was feeling so... Hey, buddy. Hi. 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 I got an escort. Oh, hey, the cows are coming to say hi. Oh, hey, y'all think I'm feeding you? Wow. They all ran over to the fence. I'm popular in this area. They know who I am. Hey, there's that Bikes or Death guy. Brr. We listen to your podcast. It's so good. Brr. Ride your damn bike. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's funny how quickly your kind of mindset can change and your energy levels and everything. I thought I was riding through the night last night. I thought I was going to get till sunrise and try to tough it out and keep riding. But it turns out I'm not that tough, which is fine. This is not the way that I usually like to ride. It's fun to do, though. It's fun to push yourself. But, you know, usually I'm wanting to soak in the vibes, enjoy the scenery, enjoy a fire, maybe a burr. But that's not been my mindset on this one. I'm soaking in some of the scenery, but I'm mostly just focused on making miles and taking care of my body, refueling, watching the map, making sure I don't miss turns. Ben absolutely killed it last night. He got into Salmon Lake around 2:16. Yeah, he got in there about 2:16 last night. Oh, sorry. He got 2 miles, 2:16 last night. Oh, first patch of gravel. I don't know what mile we're at coming out of Livingston, or Jacksonville, I should say. 148.5. First bit of gravel on the day. But he got in at 3 a.m. He called me this morning, and he had lost his wallet somewhere. He went to the gas station by Whataburger, and whenever he got to Salmon Lake, he didn't have it. So I'm kind of keeping an eye out for it today, hoping that it'll kind of pop out on the road somewhere. But I went to the gas station he went to last night and talked to the attendant, and they did not have his wallet, and I looked around outside, but yeah, it wasn't there. But Ben was, he said it was a pretty tough effort to get to Salmon Lake, but he did it. He freaking did it. He was jealous of me for getting sleep, and I was jealous of him for being tough and powering through. But yeah, so he doesn't have a wallet, and I don't have an ID, and we're out here. So yeah. All right, well, let's see. I got about 10 more miles till I get to the next spot. I don't even know. I think it's Netches. Yep, Netches. There's Van's Grocery. They got burgers there. So kind of thinking that I don't know, yeah. I might sit down and eat, or just grab a quick bite. And the next one after that is a mile 186. Oh man, I had a long ways to go. I'm gonna have to make a plan. I wanted to just get on the road this morning because I felt like I was running a little behind, but that's all right. So might get to Netches and formulate a plan while I eat a burger, or I might try to formulate one while I'm riding. But the other thing I need is a wall, like the little plug thing that goes in the wall to brick. I could have swore I brought mine, but I took all of the stuff out of my bags last night, and I do not see it, so I don't know where that little sucker went off to. But so I've just about depleted one of my power banks, and I got one more left over that is a smaller one, but I'm gonna need to charge some electronics for sure, so that might force me to kind of hunker down at a restaurant and charge some stuff while I'm eating. So I went into a gas station this morning to try to find one of those little bricks, and they didn't have one. So I'm also on the lookout for one of those. So we'll see.
Yes, ma'am.
I was going to say, I don't know if you want to put it here because we don't have cameras right here.
I'll take a chance. I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. I mean, we have cameras on the other side, but we don't have one on this side.
Oh, yeah.
But, I'll look.
Okay. I appreciate it. What do I need? Oh, yes.
Y'all have food? Oh, great. Do you know if you have those little like wall charger things that like a USB would plug into? The little brick?
We don't have a brick, but I can plug it into our power thing over here if you want.
Okay. If you don't mind.
Is it just your box, or do you need to plug your phone in too?
No, just this. This powers everything. I don't know where my block is. I'm going to have to find one somewhere, but yeah.
Okay, I can plug it in into the...
Thank you.
Don't forget it under there.
Oh, I won't. I need it. Sounds good. It's on me.
I'll be with you.
Alrighty, no rush.
What can I get you, sir?
Are y'all doing breakfast right now?
Yes, sir.
I'll do bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast burrito.
What else would you like?
That'll probably do it for now. And a coffee, maybe?
Yes, sir. It's
Over there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you.
And is this the good one for here?
I'll eat it here.
Here?
Thank you.
$12.20. And if you don't mind, if you don't have tap, can I do it over here?
Oh, I think it'll tap.
Okay, hold on one second. We are so old school. We have to manually do a lot of stuff. Our chip reader over there is messed up, but it will do. It normally will do.
It's not a good sign. I'm already tired, and I got to ride 130 more miles today.
Oh my goodness!
Trying to wrap my head around that one.
Yeah, I bet. There we go. Would you like a receipt, sir?
No, and I don't need a bag either.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm going to put it on my bike. She was charging a power bank for me somewhere down there.
Okay.
I'm not...
Let me see. No, actually, it's not. Oh, I think Ben thinks it's plugged in. Oh.
Thank you so
Here you
much.
go. I had to figure out how to know if it was charging.
Oh,
But then I seen the light
yeah.
said, because the ones that I've seen, you know, you push the little button and it tells you what percentage it's on.
right.
And so I didn't see that. And I was like, well, I need to make sure it's charging.
This one's
What's
just
the
old.
point?
Yeah,
And
no.
so then I seen the lights flashing and I was like, oh, it's
Yeah,
charging.
no, you're good. I appreciate it. My other one tells the percentage, but this one's old and it doesn't do it.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Be safe on the rest of your trip.
I appreciate it. Hey, kitty. Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. Okay, it's 2:30. 43 miles in on today at mile 181 on the route. And coming into town, it's getting hot. Getting a little toasty. Not terrible, but a little warm. It'll start cooling down. Like by 3:30, and 4, it'll really start. Temperatures will really start coming down. So that isn't bad. So wanted to just hop on and share some thoughts about today. What's on my mind? The biggest thing on my mind is charging my electronics. Dan's Grocery there in Netches. I charged my power bank there this morning while I ate breakfast, and they let me use their brick. And I ate for about 30 minutes, and my power bank is kind of an old one, so it just has like 5 dots on this side to indicate how full it is, and only 1 dot was... Holy shit. That's a fucking meat. That's a beefy dog. Jesus Christ. Woo! Damn. Woo! You think you don't have anything left in your legs, and then one of the dogs gets off its chain, and you realize you're not dead yet. Whew. That dog got close. I had to put the hammer down. That was kind of fun. All right, first dog that really chased me. Pets and dogs bark at me and, come check me out. But none of them real aggressive at all. So that's at mile 181 1.5 on the route. Anyone who's doing the Showdown. Oh, that is cool. I have to take a picture of that. I don't want to stop. I've been really good about this, not stopping and taking pictures, because that's all I really want to do. But if I do that, then I'm never going to get done, ever. Which also doesn't sound fun. But this is hold on. Anyway, it was like an old cell phone tower. The cell phone tower looked to be in good shape. But then there was these two small, like, control room buildings at the bottom that were just in shambles. And it all looked very post-apocalyptic. And it looked pretty cool, and I've got a picture of it. There's another fucking old house just barely hanging on. Man, it's crazy out here. I'm really enjoying the route. It's super cool. This is some of the most remote areas in Texas I've ever been to. And yeah, all the roads that you're on, almost all of them are, you just don't see anyone. Hardly any cars, any traffic, not a lot of houses in general. It's quite nice. Sorry, I'm checking my navigation here. If you recall, yesterday I missed my turn because I was jabbering to y'all. I don't intend to make that mistake twice. There's a turn in a mile. So, what was I saying? Course is good. I'm kind of impressing myself. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, just from like a remoteness standpoint, I really like that. It's quite nice. No, it's not worrying about cars as much. Just really helps take the temperature down and, like, you know, feel a lot more relaxed and just worry about riding your bike. And that's what I've been able to do most of the time, is stay pretty focused with what I'm doing. Oh yeah, so we were talking about my electronics situation. I don't know, I think it's a 10 or 10,000 milliamp hour power bank. And then I have another one that I think is like 5,000. I don't even know, to be honest. It's kind of my backup one, but I brought both of those. And my 10,000 is the one that I was charging back there, and it has one blue dot illuminated. But that doesn't really mean too much, because I could plug it in. It might last for charge for 10 minutes and then be done. I have no idea. Ooh. Oh, got up to a little over 30 miles an hour. Speedy Gonzalez. That was fun. How's it going?
We have to take a break right here, bro.
Yeah. I got 200 more miles. I wish I could stop. Y'all have a good one. That was funny. Two rednecks and a Hispanic guy. All on like huffy mountain bikes. Out here. Middle of pretty much nowhere, East Texas. Hanging out on the side of the road, under some shade, with some beers, some Bud Light to be exact, and a radio. Be having a good time. Bikes are the way, even out here in East Texas, man. They get it. Bikes are death. What if, oh shit. It'd be wild if they heard of the race or saw some of these riders coming through and decided they wanted to try it. It wouldn't surprise me, because when I was at breakfast this morning, I think it was owner at Van's Grocery. I'm pretty sure it was Van I was talking to. he told me that just like a week or two ago, a lady came through, and so they know if we stand out, they remember when some crazy cyclists come through town. But anyway, that was fun. I gave up on my thought earlier. Essentially, long story short, big climb. I changed my mind. For charging purposes, I might be forced to stop at Salmon Lake at mile 216 today, just so I can charge my lights and my power bank overnight. I don't know. I'll have to see. Because the next spot is at mile 300. And at my current pace, I'd probably get there about 2 a.m. And I don't know if my juice will get me there. So that's the big dilemma today. And if I have to stop in Salmon Lake, that's going to really throw a wrench in things. That's not going to be great, honestly, because that leaves 184 miles for my final day, which isn't what I had in mind. Leaving my biggest mileage day for the last one. That would be fun. That would bring my mileage to 145 the first day, like 75 or 80 the second day, and 185 the third day. So yeah, would like to avoid that, but I might be forced. And remember, I don't have any sleeping gear, so there's not. The only other option would be maybe going a little further, maybe like sleeping in the Pennington post office, and hopefully they'd have like a charger outlet. I don't really have anything to sleep with, but just sleep on the floor and try to make some kind of a pillow or something. At least do that for a couple hours and charge some stuff and then get back on the road. I don't know. That's the big dilemma today that I'm chewing on, and I really won't, I think, know until I get there tonight, like Salmon Lake, and evaluate where I'm at with everything in my life and my electronic life. So we're at mile, speed, oh God. Oh, this is a good one. Ooh. 36.1 miles an hour. Yeah, now I gotta pay the piper. Back up. It was fun while it lasted. Anyway, that's what I'm dealing with. It's a beautiful day. One thing everyone doing the event here in a couple weeks, you should be hitting it at almost peak wildflower season, or just the beginning of peak, and I'm already getting some color out here. It's quite lovely, so you're welcome. Okay, well, I got to mile 186 back there, which is nothing. I don't have a town, just 4J's Family Restaurant, and definitely no charging stuff there. So I'm pushing on to Elkhart at 196. That'll be kind of fun. That's basically the halfway mark, which will be a nice thing to check off. And I think that's a decent sized town. I believe they have a dollar store. That's what I'm going to Google here in a little bit. But my thought is that I will go to the dollar store, get a charging block, go to this Mexican food restaurant, charge my stuff, eat some food, and get on the road. Kind of do another little evaluation. That's all I'm doing today. Math. Bikepacking math. A lot of variables. Still worried about being able to get a room tonight. That's one of the other fears I have is what if I ride till 2 o'clock in the morning, I get to Trinity and the two places won't give me a spot because I don't have my ID. So that would be a bummer. I just don't know. Alright, cabin 13, pink, tiny, probably cute. I'm guessing super cute. Most importantly, I got a cheeseburger because I'm classy like that. Oh yeah, this is... Wow, this door is full. Oh yeah. Home sweet fucking home, yes. Everything you need, some you don't. Nobody's complaining. Oh, we made it. We're short of our goal. But what are goals anyway? Nobody really knows. Alright, so it is Sunday morning, 8:30. 8, I think it says. It matters. I'm 7 miles in on the morning. And it's time for your morning update. Last night, I got into Grapeland about 7 o'clock around then, and I went into Brookshire Brothers and got the necessities, just food and water. They didn't have a power block, so then I went to the Family Dollar and they had one, so I grabbed that. Went to my cabin, and the owner of that cabin is becoming quite infamous. Oh, what he's going to say? Bumpy Ben, what are you trying to say? I'm here, Ben. I'm here for you. Oh my gosh, Ben is such a stud. Holy shit. Okay, so let's have a brief segue here and talk about Ben. So let's see, he lost his wallet. He rode 200 in the first go. He rode 216 miles to Salmon Lake, which is where I just camped on my second night. For perspective, I talked to him about it the next morning, and he had a pretty rough go at it. He said it was a real big challenge, but hey, he got there. And then he only slept for 3 hours. And then he rode from 216 to mile 333 at the Bullet. So that's 117 miles or something like that. No, that's not right. Yeah, I think 117 miles. That next day to finish it off on only 3 hours of sleep. And when I talked to him yesterday, he did not sound like he was going to go do the death loop. But he just texted me. I'd asked him because we were chatting this morning. And I said, are you planning to do the death loop? And he just texted me back and said, yep, I'm headed back out to the Bullet right now. So, for anyone who cares, and I don't care, and Ben doesn't care, but there might be someone out there who is interested. Ben is DQ'd from any kind of like official time. Not that he was going for one, but because he lost his wallet, he had his girlfriend bring him a card so he could keep going. And then last night they brought their travel trailer and he slept in that, which I'm really not sure is a violation because it is en route. Oh, but it's not. Oh, I don't know how that one works. That one's tricky, but anyway. Ben doesn't care. He was never going for a time. He's just out here to have fun and ride his bike and push himself, which is cool. And yeah, like I said, that dude, he's impressing me. He's completely kicking my ass. I told everybody I was pro slow. This is what pro slow looks like. Literally, the entire strategy is go slow. And that extends to everything I'm learning. Even resupply points. It's so funny. The last 2 days, I'm thinking to myself, all right, man, just be efficient, have a list going in, know what you need. And I felt like I was, executing on that pretty well. I got slowed down looking for the stupid charger. But each day, I've had 3 hours of stoppage time, which is insane. Kuya did the entire 380 mile route with like only 30 minutes of stoppage time. It was less than an hour. It was something ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm just slow. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be fast, but anyway, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just crawling along. But I'm enjoying it. So, where were we? I just went to the cabin, met the owner for the first time. Salmon Lake is kind of popular for the route. A lot of people stay there. One of the reasons is it's just a really cool, kind of quirky, southern quirky establishment. It's like an old kind of ghost town with old farm implements and old cars. One of them has like bullet holes in it, like a really old like mobster car with bullet holes. Anyway, just kind of a pretty random place. And so I rolled into there about 8 o'clock, and the owner was outside stargazing. It was pretty cool. She was in a golf cart, and she had her, I think it's that iSky app or something like that, where you can hold it up and look at the planets, look at stars, look at the constellations, and it'll tell you what it is you're looking at. And so she was like, I've never seen those two before. So I pulled up my phone, and it looks like it's Jupiter and Pluto. I think that's what she said. Or was it Saturn? Jupiter and Saturn. I think that was it. And that was pretty cool. I had actually noticed the two stars, what I thought were stars, the night before. And I didn't know what they were. I thought one of them might have been the North Star. But I never looked at my compass to actually like verify, and it turns out I would have been wrong anyway. Anyway, so she's just a fun lady, fun little place. But I was pretty much forced to camp there, stay there for two reasons. Well, basically, I had to charge my devices, my power bank. I have two power banks, and just charging one of them takes, I think, 6 hours to fully charge it. And so I knew I'd be hunkered down for a period of time. And I was headed into the night times that obviously need my lights and need navigation and need it all. So I was forced to stay there, and I crashed out about 10, and I set my alarm for 4:15 and 4:30, and I did not wake up until 7 o'clock, and I woke up and my alarms were going off. So I just slept right the fuck through for, what would that be, 2.5 hours of just sleeping with the alarm on. I tell people all the time, if you're expecting me to be able to defend you in the middle of the night, like if a robber comes in or something, I'm gonna be no use. You can just murder me. I will sleep through anything, including my alarms. So, was I supposed to turn? No, I'm turning up here. Don't let me miss another fucking turn because I'm talking on this podcast. Don't let me do it. I'm in a good mood this morning. Don't make me angry. You won't like this podcast if I'm angry. So, yep, woke up, 7 o'clock. I was out the door a little before 8. I hesitate to say this because it's fucking embarrassing and aggravating, but you will not believe that this morning I was putting my gear away and I was throwing some stuff in my top tube bag, the cachet one that sits the top tube. You know what the top tube is. I'm putting something in there, and this white thing kind of falls down, and it was my charging block that I've been looking for this entire time, the one that I needed on the first night to charge my devices. And I took all my bags out of my bike, or all my gear out of my bags, and I didn't fucking see it. I think what happened is because I told y'all this is a big bag. It's big. Holds a lot of stuff. I had taken everything out. I might have left my sunscreen in there. It's possible. I don't remember, but I took most stuff out. And I think what happened is it was wedged at the very top, closest to the stem. And that's why this morning it kind of fell down or slid down towards the bottom. Anyway, that sucked. That sucked. Yesterday was kind of crappy a little bit just because I was worried about that all day. And I was bummed that, the decisions that I had were limited and completely controlled by this one silly little, piece of the puzzle that I was kind of out of my control, or I thought it was. Turns out it was in my bag the whole time, and I'm just a fucking idiot. So I don't know. I'm conflicted on this story because on one hand, I'm happy that I remembered it, so I don't have to feel like a dummy for leaving it in my car or whatever. But now I'm the dummy who brought it and couldn't find it. I don't know, which dummy would I want to be? I guess the end result was the exact same. It would have played out the same way, whether I had it or whether I didn't. So I guess that just comes down to being a little more organized, and I am pretty organized in the sense of I usually put all my stuff in same places. But I did change my charging setup right before this. And so, yeah, it was a little unfamiliar, and maybe, I don't know, I'm just rambling, who knows what happened. This morning, I woke up feeling absolutely hammered. I felt like I was a million years old, and I just had been hit by a school bus, and I'd been in a coma for 6 months, and today was the first day that I got out of bed. That's kind of how I felt this morning. Mentally and emotionally, I kind of feel pretty good, but saddle sores, knee pain. The knee pain is pretty rough. The saddle sores are pretty rough, and my hands and wrists are just shooting pain. But it's not all bad. But I woke up this morning, got on the bike, and it was rough. I was thinking, I do not know how I'm going to do this for another 117 miles today. But we're 10 miles in now, and amazing body. It's already, feeling a lot better. Still pain, but we went from a 7 down to a 5. Oh, tree in the road. Yeah, there are a lot of downed trees from that storm that went through. And at this point, all of them except one have been cut and cleared from the road, which has been really nice. It just made me realize that if people come out here, if the race is, the day after a storm or even during a storm, got a car coming. Oh, hey. Clearing the trees?
Yeah, a bit of carnage.
There's a lot. Is it just from the wind? Yeah.
Well, knock this one over straight across that way you see behind you.
Oh, yeah.
That tree was buried over here.
Yeah.
Then it pushed one over into another tree, which we cut the one that it was leaning against there and dropped those two. And that's what you see across here.
Incredible.
The other one was going to fall in the road, and it'd be bad if somebody was driving by when it did, because it was better than 100 foot tall.
Man, I was just thinking that I'm trying to go 400 miles. I'm about 220 or so right now. So I've ran 220 miles all through the forest, and there's been down trees all over the place. And every single one has been cleared, which has surprised me. But I was thinking, I'm like, man, they hadn't all been cleared, I'd be lifting my bike and it'd be a lot harder going. So
cross country, huh?
Huh?
It would be a real cross country.
Yeah. I just like to ride my bike. I'm not a pioneer.
You doing it like in sections, like the 400 and something? Or?
Yeah, I've slept twice already, and today's my last day, hopefully.
Okay.
So hopefully tonight I'll be in my bed.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Better, huh?
Yeah. It's gonna be a long day though, but it's a nice one.
Yeah.
Well, good work.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. How about that? That was cool. I didn't even see that guy there. Talk about timing. Do we live in a simulation? Can we talk about that? I know people joke about it, but some of these coincidences are just weird. We got a whole pack of dogs. Oh yeah. They're scared. They're over 100 feet away and they're just looking at me. Yeah, I was just talking about all the tree falling, and if someone were riding in a storm or right after, there'd be a lot of fallen trees. And like you just heard me say to that guy, if there was a bunch of trees all over the road, this would be a different experience. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. The morning is nice. I really wish that I got up I really wanted to be out the door by 5 or 5:30. And that would have given me about a 2-hour jump on sunrise, which would have felt kind of good. It would have been nice to watch the world wake up and see the sunrise and stuff. I kind of wanted that. That would have been nice. But I don't know. I need to get a louder alarm or something. When I was a kid, my mom, this wasn't all the time, but sometimes I was just so hard to wake up. She would literally get like a pitcher full of water and just dump it on my head. So I just pass out. Maybe I'm not meant to be an ultra racer. So anyway, I got out of there by 7, which was pretty nice, pretty okay. It was better than 9 o'clock like the day before. And I stopped at a donut place, refilled my water. And when I was putting my stuff away, a gentleman and his son came out, and he said, "Are you doing that inaugural bike the annual," that's what he said. "Are you doing that annual bike event?" And I said, "Well, I'm doing the course. I'm pre-riding it, but the actual event is 2 weeks from now." And I wish I recorded this conversation. I didn't have my stuff ready. It would have been cool, but he was real friendly. He said, "Oh yeah, I see y'all out there, always on the back roads." And we were talking about how pretty the area is and how like nice and peaceful it is. Just not a lot of people, and even the towns are really small. And I will talk about the towns real quick. That's something I wanted to touch on, especially for people looking to come out and do this route. You gotta be you gotta be prepared, I'll say, for these stores not being open. They could be understaffed. They're probably definitely going to be understaffed. They're going to be slow. Like twice on this trip so far, I did have a hamburger last night. That's right. Yeah, I did. But one time, ordered a hamburger. This was in Ratcliffe at mile 75. And she said, well, my, stove or cooktop isn't on. So it's going to take about 20 or 25 minutes. So I said, oh, no, I'll just do a deli sandwich. And then last night I ordered a burger and fries, and her fryer wasn't on, so that was going to be like 25 minutes, so I didn't get fries, which, none of this are like big deals, but how slow everything is a major factor. It's part of why I've had 3 hours of stoppage time. It's definitely not the whole picture there, but it can be a little frustrating. I'm not even, hurrying. I ride so slow that, I was really wanting to minimize my stoppage time. So I'm mindful of it, but just something to think about. And then the other thing is, don't expect them to have all the little things, the right batteries, the phone chargers. Some of the little gas stations are just so sparsely inventoried, and yeah, it just is what it is. So, just don't paint a picture in your head of these brand new fancy gas stations everywhere with perfect coffee, and not that I have perfect coffee, but of course that's out here too, but there's a whole lot of really rural towns and little mom and pop convenience stores and cafes. And, yesterday in that town in Elkhart, there's like an ice cream sandwich shop thing there, and I stopped there and they were closed. Had a sign on the door that said on vacation or vacation time, sorry, we're closed. So it's stuff like that, you just have to kind of, and I'm not prepared, but that's why you can learn from my mistakes and be a little bit more self-contained. I've relied too much on Yeah, I put a lot of stock in the stock of the stores. That's a pickle. Nice pickle. Okay, thank you. What else can we talk about this morning? I had a lady in a gas station talking about the race too, and she was just smiling. She said, y'all are always so much fun. I think they get a kick out of us out here. I think one thing I've kind of put my thumb on, and I could be wrong, but this country life out here, this East Texas that we're in, I've mostly, prior to doing like this and a couple other like longer rides, I haven't spent, a lot of time in the towns. I usually am in the forests around here. And I haven't, dealt with much traffic either. But I have noticed a distinct difference in how I feel like I'm treated and how cars treat me, etc. The further out you get. So even like starting, in and around Trinity, I feel like it's a little bit more populated and things are just slightly more aggressive and fast-paced, and just slightly more, not too much. Not like a big city, but it feels like once you get out here, like way out on the route, the deeper you get, the less people you see, and the people you do see just seem way more relaxed and friendly and smiling and happy to chat. So, just an observation that I've been chewing on, but I like it. That's the thing about this area is like it's so rural. There's no like tourism out here. There's nothing. I mean, I'm sure it's just mostly ranching and see some chicken farms. I don't know what people do out here, but there's not a lot of industry or no tourist attractions. Not a lot out here. So there's no reason for people to come out here. It's not an area you would visit and spend any time in. And likewise for them, they're not used to seeing people like us. Or just people coming in on their freaking bicycles. They know everybody in town, everywhere you go. They know we're obvious because of the way we're dressed, but even if we were dressed normal, they would know we weren't a local. Because if you're in any of those gas stations, they're always like, hey Joe, hey Bill, hey Jack. Oh, that's an old house with not much of a roof. Well, so today, all roads lead to the Bullet Grill. And that is my destination. 117 miles. I've gone 12. So only 105 miles left to go. And one of the reasons that I wanted to start earlier this morning was because I was really wanting to get there before dark or right about dark, just so I could have a meal and have a drink and head home, because I'm going to be a victim of the death loop. I've already decided. It's decided. You can put me in the morgue. But yeah, I'm just, at this point, my goal is to get back to the Bullet and not take any shortcuts. Because I think I might be tempted to take a shortcut at the end. I might take it. We'll see. So one of my goals, and what really spurred this, was Hannah, who asked me if I'd ever ridden the route. And then she also mentioned it on the Bike Pack Racing podcast. And so she called me out, and I was like, all right, you're right. And I've been wanting to do it. I just, I'm busy. It's really hard for me to even take off a few days. I mean, I can, but it usually means, sacrificing other stuff. I don't know, But anyway, I've been wanting to do it, and that was a good kick in the butt to get out here and finally do it. So 2 weeks ago, I came out and rode the Death Loop. So I just rode it. Plus, I've ridden that area. It's the area of Sam Houston National Forest I am the most familiar with. I really wanted to ride this top part of the Showdown. So now, whenever I get back to Ratcliffe today, or Kennard actually, I will have ridden every single inch of the route. So the next time somebody asks me, hey, have you ridden the route? I'll be like, oh yeah. Not contiguously. But who cares about contiguous? That's just a fancy word people use. We've got a puppy. Oh, he's in a fence. I would like to do the Death Loop, but I gotta... Oh yeah, that's how I started this whole thing, by talking about, I want to get done, a decent time tonight, so I can, take a minute at the Bullet to recuperate, and then drive an hour and a half home, take a shower, sleep in my bed. Doesn't that sound nice? And then I get my girls tomorrow and need to work and all this stuff, so it's back to real life. But, so, if I could get back to the Bullet, that'd be 333. It'd probably turn out to be 340 miles in 3 days. And, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I always said that out of all the routes, the Slowdown, the 280-mile route, would be the one I would want to do. And I think I'm sticking to that. 280 miles for me, it's about perfect after that. It looks right now. Because I really struggled. I tried to get into the going fast mindset, mostly just not getting off my bike. And so the first day, I didn't take a single picture when I wasn't moving on my bike, and even when I was riding, I probably took less than 10 pictures altogether. I just didn't do it. And then yesterday started out similarly. And it wasn't until later on in the afternoon I realized I was going to be resigned to staying in Salmon Lake that I kind of just slowed my pace, and I took a few more pictures and whatnot. Which is when I was doing it, I was reminded that that's what I really enjoy. That's what gets me excited, to go ride my bike. It's really kind of capturing the experience, and I enjoy reliving it. And I enjoy sharing it. But the camera is just a great way to force you to kind of just take a slower pace, be more observant of your surroundings, and, looking for something worth capturing. So even if you're not taking a picture, you're still, always on the lookout. So, it's just what I like, and I've kind of missed that on this ride. not trying to complain. Just thinking about the different ways of approaching this kinds of stuff. And yeah, I think with 280 miles, that's a good distance that allows me to kind of push myself and also take a couple more pictures along the way. And then the fun part is getting back to the hoedown at the Bullet and hanging out with your friends. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm pretty happy with how this whole event has been accepted and comes together and gets a little bit better every year. I really do. You know, that's something that I really am grateful for on this ride, is how much I appreciate this route. I appreciate it so much more than I did before riding at all. I mean, I've ridden a lot in this area over the years. I've ridden all over here, but it's one thing to kind of know the area, ride it and have a familiarity with it. And then, you know, when I scouted this route, I did it all by car simply because it's just so much faster, obviously. Whoa. Damn. Oh, he's fast. Damn. That one is fast. Luckily, I had a downhill coming up. I'm going 22 miles an hour. Oh my god. What mileage are we at? 229 or something? Yeah, I think 228.5. Holy shit. But yeah, I'm just, seeing it all pieced together by bike, riding it. Not to toot my own horn, but this is a pretty cool experience. This is some damn good riding, especially with the backdrop of what I'm used to and most Texans are used to. This is out here. This is different. This is cool. And I'm proud of it. I really am. Yeah, it's good. So far, it's really good. Only 100 more miles to go on today. So, all right. Over and out. Turn left.
The chair's down. It should have cheered down when you
Howdy.
That direction right over there?
Bathroom? Thank you, sir. Is the kitchen open or is it closed? Okay.
She closed the grill and all down about 20 minutes ago. I'm sorry, I just told you a lie. But I do have some grab and go.
Okay.
Pizza will fill you up.
I can work with that.
Where are you riding to and from?
Started in Point Blank and then went up to Jacksonville. And
So you're making the big loop.
I'm making a big loop. It's 400 miles altogether. I'm probably, this is mile 261.
Oh, crap.
So, on the home stretch.
You'll be going through the big city of Apple Springs, or you've done been through?
I did. That was mile 55 on day one.
Oh,
I
Lord.
stopped there at Berkshire Brothers and ate a Subway. Yeah. So been there, been all over, been to Kenner, Love Lady, and what's that one I was just in? Not Graceland. I always want to call it Graceland. Grapeland, yeah.
Are you part of the Biker Dare group?
Bikes Are Dead?
Yeah, Bikes Are Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am Bikes Are Dead.
You are?
I've got the tattoo there.
Well, I'm Gary.
Hi,
I talked to one of you guys over Facebook. I worked up at Apple Springs. Because when you go through
the Brookshire Brothers?
Yeah, because you roll through there after 10 o'clock, there ain't nothing.
Yeah. That's so funny. I was trying to find your message on Facebook to contact you. But for some reason I lost it. But we were trying to contact all. That's what we're trying to do this year is contact everybody on the route and let them kind of know that we're coming. Because last year we had 100. And this year we got like 210. So yeah, I'll be coming through. Well, I'll let them know I'm pre-riding the course. They're out in 2 weeks, and I'm riding it before everybody else. So. Remind me, it was Gary? Gary, I'm Patrick.
Hey, Patrick. Yeah. I clean my ice chest out and get the fish smell out. Just kidding. And bring up here and see if I can put y'all a case of water or something out here.
Okay.
As people come by late at night.
Oh, yeah. Well.
I didn't have, maybe 6 or 8 people come through, but
yeah.
When you're riding and you got to have water, the road ditch starts looking pretty appealing. There ain't no need for that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm going to shove some food down my face and get going. I got another 9 or so hours of riding. I'm going to try to. Oh, at the end there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. I've done it before. I know.
Oh, you do that?
It's.
Okay. You just wore shorts the whole time, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever get cold?
No.
No.
Well, that's a lie. Here.
You're like, actually, that's not true at all.
I'm totally lying to you.
Here, have a seat if you want.
Yeah, I can't walk.
Here, have a comfy chair.
All right.
Road trip rocker right here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why'd you build that out?
No, we just added like stick-on wallpaper to make it. Come here, Jim. Hey. If you want any of that numbing lotion, let me know too.
Bro, everything is numb.
Yeah, I wish it had been numb. By the end of it, I was wishing it were numb because it was not numb. Hey,
Jamie.
you got lots of salt.
You can also just tell her no, or push her off again.
What's the question?
What are dogs?
Jesus.
June, hey, come here.
Juniper, come here.
I knew I was popular with the dogs on the route.
Goodness.
Oh yeah, did you get chased by much? He was saying like in the middle of the night there's just like random packs of dogs.
I was like, what the fuck
Not
is
by
going on
houses,
here?
just like out there.
I didn't think it was that bad with the dogs. I think it just
it's just at night they sneak up on you easier.
Yeah.
And you're like a little more high alert.
I didn't do a whole lot of night riding. I rode the first night I rode until about 1:30. So I mean that's like 5 hours.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of night riding.
And then tonight a few hours. And last night I was to Salmon Lake by like 8 o'clock or so. So I didn't do much.
I mean, I really only did the first night. I think last night I got home. Well, I guess the tail end was in the dark, but first night I was in the dark longer than I wanted to do. I think I made a mistake. I don't know. It was probably ultimately good because you're further, but pushing to Salmon Lake was not ideal. I think I was a little overconfident in that.
Dude, it's so funny. At mile 100, around sunset on day 1, I was feeling so good. I was like, all right, I'm just going to, go to Salmon Lake. Mm-hmm. And then, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, I might just try to keep going,
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's how confident I was.
How the, ebb and flow of how you feel is wild.
Yes.
You'll be, euphoric for a while, and then you'll just be, depressed.
Yes. I decided to stop worrying about it.
Yeah.
Because I was making plans. I'd be like,
I'm
going to ride past Salmon Lake. Oh, no. And like today, I woke up. I didn't think there was any way. When I woke up this morning, I didn't know if I'd be able to make it back to the Bullet. I was like,
just wrecked.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no fucking way. How am I gonna do this? I don't
just
think.
Like the dead legs or like just sore.
Dude,
like,
physically, like
bricks for legs, kind of.
No, the legs always felt kind of decent. It was more like knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, like muscle wise, like.
If it had only been your legs, it would have been fine. Or like if
this in case you get cold.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, near the end for me too is like if my ass would not hurt. That was the main thing for me. Just the sitting, the washboarding on the Davy Crockett stuff or Sam Houston stuff is just like standing in a really high gear and just like not sitting down and like out of the saddle pedaling, you know. I gotta figure that out. I probably can't use that saddle for long rides because I've done 2 long rides and my ass has been destroyed both times.
Dude, I'm surprised. Like my butt doesn't hurt that bad.
Maybe it's because I'm wearing a chamois.
Yeah.
You didn't wear a chamois, right?
Dude, no chamois, and I'm wearing the same saddle as you. But I mean, everybody's butt's different. Like my buddy Connor has the same saddle, and he's gotten pretty bad saddle sores. We'll see how it feels tomorrow. I don't know if everything's just numb, but
I mean, mine was for sure hurting like while I was riding. So if yours wasn't doing that, that's like a pretty good sign.
Yeah.
You were getting knee pain though?
Yeah, knee pain.
Was it both or just one?
Both of them. Mostly my left one from like a skateboarding accident when I got when I was like 21 years old.
It's like persistent.
It's one of those things, you know.
Well, and you do that motion like a million times.
Yeah.
Or something like this. And what was new in that route for you? Was all the north stuff on bike new for you? Or had you ridden all that up there?
I haven't ridden all of it. Mm-hmm. So now I've ridden the entire route.
Yeah.
Not contiguously.
Right, but you've laid tracks on everything.
So the Death Loop is now just a Sam Houston restaurant tour. The Death Loop is that...
Is that Taqueria that's in there?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one that's like part of the...
Yes. Yeah, Taqueria Carmelita.
It also wasn't on the...
Yeah, that's why it's not on there, because it's closed on the weekends now.
I know. Well, I wasn't expecting it to be open, but I saw something. I was like, oh shit, like, maybe.
Yeah. Best Mexican food I've ever had.
Really?
Swear, yeah.
It looked good. I mean, you look at that place and you can tell it's probably going to be pretty...
It was on some TV show where they like travel around and like check out food spots or whatever. It was on there.
Gotcha.
And it's run by a family. It's like husband, wife, and like son and daughter, and that's it. And I mean, it's legitimately the best Tex-Mex I've ever had. They're so good.
I figured it being a Sunday, there's no way. Like maybe on a Saturday, but...
I've talked to the owner. She's super nice, and I'm like seeing if there's any way she could keep it open, or she doesn't care.
Like, I don't care.
They got famous from being on TV, and she's just like, hi.
She's like, you have a bike race? That's fine. I've been on TV.
I've been on TV, yeah.
So that's the Sam Houston restaurant tour starts and ends at Bullet.
It actually starts at Big Woods Hunter Camp. That is not on
that route, or
I can't remember if it's on the Death Loop or not. I think it's just it's just off the Death Loop a little way. So you start kind of like off of it, and then you would come on it.
I like the Death Loop. I'm glad that I was hesitant to go for it at night, just because I was out of water by the time I got to the cold springs. 67 miles or 40 is like a little different.
I got more.
I'll grab you one.
Oh no, it's still like halfway full.
I don't know if I'm getting up and down is right now. But yeah, it's like 67 miles.
Yeah, 67 miles.
For some reason, I didn't quite realize that it was all the extra at the end. I, for some reason, was thinking it was sort of mixed in, and I was like, oh wait.
It just made the death loop worse.
I mean, the stuff you added was nice. There's some real nice paved stuff that was kind of just in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice area.
It's nice to be, I was ready to be out of, like, towns and stuff. I was kind of getting over the traffic and, like, riding shoulders.
Yes. I think the worst part of the entire route is coming out of Trinity.
Coming out of Trinity?
Yeah.
Which one's Trinity again?
Trinity's like at mile 3. Yeah, it's mile 296 on the route.
Yeah,
so there's that, you know that bridge, that white bridge?
Yeah.
The Memorial Bridge?
Yeah.
So that's right outside of Trinity. Okay. So after that Memorial Bridge, you take a left onto that. It's like 908, County Road 908 or FM 908, something like that. And it's just...
Those whoopties?
Yeah.
Whoopties sop all your energy.
Whew. And it's a 70-mile-an-hour road with no shoulder. It's 5 miles on that thing.
I'm trying to remember that.
That's the worst part of the entire route. Well, you would have finished... What time did you finish?
Yesterday? I got to the bullet at like... Was it
not the death loop. What time did you finish the section before the death loop?
I think like 7:30 or 8.
Yeah, 7:30.
It was dark.
Yeah.
So you might have, you might have did it at nighttime then. May not remember it quite as well.
Yeah, it was interesting rolling up on all the town, or just doing everything in reverse. So it was like reverse things, but like slightly different.
I think what I'm going to do next year is let people pick whatever way they want to go, like the high country, you know?
Cool. Yeah.
Because I think
you like see people too, like you cross paths with people.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Because I think it depends on like how fast you're going and what your goals are, depends on which way you should go. And
yeah, like one direction could be better for if you're trying to just do it all in one push, or I don't know. I'm kind of torn because I liked it this direction. The only thing I didn't like was if you're trying to push like 200 or more in one day, it's just tough going this way because you don't have the sleep options, or I felt like I couldn't just pull off at any time and go to sleep because you're just private property everywhere.
Yeah, there's basically nothing. There's just that
there's those churches, but
that ATV spot, whatever that's called.
I did really like the new way out of Jacksonville though. That's so much better.
God, yeah.
Like, not even comparable.
Yeah, it's so much better.
And then before I knew it, I was at the ATV park, and I was like, oh shit. Like, I thought I was going to have to get on that at some point, because you'd mentioned how there was some part of the highway climb still, but I didn't even feel like I got on it at all.
Yeah.
Or maybe I did for just like a sec, I don't know.
I think it got completely cut out, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so that's like, I think you took out the most by doing that and doing the bridge on the front end. You took out like two of the worst, like danger zones, I feel like, especially because if you're going to do a neutral rollout or just like the big group power numbers across the bridge.
Yeah, I was really happy about that reroute in Jacksonville. That made a big difference, I feel like.
Yeah, I definitely like the daytime death loop just because it felt like it brand new. Like nothing, it like vaguely was familiar, but I did it at like 1 a.m. or something last year, so.
Well, it's changed quite a bit too. I mean, some of the roads are the same, but not much.
I remember some of it.
It's
like
in the
Snow
same.
Hill.
Yeah, Snow Hill. Yeah.
We came down that because I got chased by a dog on Snow Hill, like right at the very end. Just like so over it. I had a dog follow me for like maybe 3 miles. It was like, he was chasing me for a while, and I kind of stopped paying attention. And then I look back, he's still chasing me. And I look back again, he's still fucking there. I'm like, dude, like, he's just having a good time, you know? He's not trying to bite me, but
Yeah.
he followed me forever.
I've had that happen before with,
Dude, go home.
I've had them where I try to, like, take them back home because they get so far from home. I'm worried about them. Whoa, excuse me.
Did you end up getting to Bertha's in time for them to be open?
Bertha's? I don't think so.
It's like as you're coming out of Davy Crockett before you get to Jacksonville, it's that like country store with the super old country store, or Babes or something. I don't know. Anyways, I was there. They closed at 8, so I don't know if you were there by then or not, but I was outside, like, pouring bottles of water into, like, all my shit, and this guy pulls up and starts, like, talking to me out the window of his car.
Oh, that's in Milady.
Maybe.
Yeah, or Maydale or something like that.
It's like an old-ass store.
Yeah. No, I didn't make it there. I didn't make it in time.
I didn't know what time they were open till, but apparently they're open till 8, but guy starts chatting with me, asking me about what I'm doing and all that, and then like I'm not looking, and he like pops out of his car and like comes up to me, and he's like, just like looks at me and goes, "Young man, if you died today, would you go to heaven?"
Whoa.
And I was like, "What?" I was like, I don't know, dude. And then he like pulls his pamphlet out and starts reading it.
Oh no.
And he like asks me my name, and then he starts inserting my name into like, he has this pamphlet he's reading, and then it has, like, insert name here. And he's, like, reading all this stuff. And it's, like, a pretty long pamphlet. And then he turns it over, and he's got more to read. And then he gets to a part where he's like, "And now, if you're ready to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord, repeat this with me." And he starts talking, and then he's, like, waiting for me to start reading with him. And I was like, I'm good on this right now, dude. And I don't know if he was an Uber driver, what was going on. Some other guy was in the store, and the other dude came out, and he was like, "Hey," he was like, "Come on, dude, leave that guy alone."
Whoa.
It was weird. He was aggressive about it.
That is super weird.
It was weird because he just like popped out of the car, and then it was like he was like practice. I don't know. It was like, are you practicing giving the spiel or something?
He felt the Lord.
Cold.
The Lord called him to save you.
It put me in I had eaten a weed cookie too, and was like kind of in a weird place, and it was just like, this is putting like a weird omen over like all of this. So,
yeah, I was the last 3 hours was so hard for me. I was just like crying intermittently for no reason. Like literally, I wasn't sad or anything. Like I didn't even know. Like there was just like tears. I was just like, "What are you doing?"
I found too, just like, especially because I would go back and forth between just riding without any kind of like music or headphones, and then riding with. I was trying to kind of save it for like nighttime.
Yeah.
But without like any distractions, like stuff for sure bubbles up like a lot easier. And then all of a sudden you're just like thinking about whatever and getting all emotional and.
Yeah, I rode in silence a lot.
I found that it was better, or like, I don't know. You can't. You're on the bike for so long that like, even like a 2-hour podcast is like only a dent. And, and then I just find that I'm fucking with my shit too much, and like, I don't know, just I don't know if I could like just try to breathe, focus on my breathing, and then if anything popped up in my mind, just like try to address it, and then go back to breathing. It seemed to work until it didn't, and then you figure it out from there. I think
although you did make me look even slower. Thanks a lot, buddy. It's a good thing I preach pro slow.
Yeah. I was just the whole time just thinking too, is like, nobody, hopefully, if anybody's watching this, they're not thinking that either of us are like racers or like, I don't know. Don't expect anything like wild out of us. But.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird to like, people like fall. I just didn't care. I'm recording a podcast the whole time I was recording shit, you know? Mm-hmm. So I can say whatever the fuck I want, you know?
And honestly, it's like...
I'll tell them what to think.
Yeah, exactly. I'll guide their thoughts.
And then Ben will edit it to make me sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's very heavily slanted because we're both here. But I just figured it's like, I don't know. I'm not ever at a pointy end of anything, so it's like, initially I was like, well, fuck, because I lost my wallet. And I was like, well, if she brings me my wallet, then I'm, I don't know, it's not a time trial. And I was just like, this doesn't fucking matter at all.
I always called mine an independent time, what did I call it? An individual time tour. That's what I called mine. I mean, from the very beginning, I was never, it's not about speed, but it is an independent effort of a race route for sure. But
I don't know, in my mind I kind of wanted to finish it in 2 days, but just because I did last time, but there is also like, it doesn't matter and no one's here. And like the inspiration to like go out on the death loop by myself, like just was not.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to bed last night thinking I might just also not ride the death loop. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll regret it. I'm pretty happy with what I did. Coming off of a concussion. Yeah.
How'd the bike do?
Bike did great. I mean, I kind of impressed myself. I was slow, but I felt good. I'm under trained for sure.
Pushing 150 on day one's like no small feat, you know? Like,
no, it's a lot of miles.
Yeah. And that first to Jacksonville is also like a pretty stout 150.
Yeah, it is, especially our day one with the wind and everything.
There were a few times where it was help. I couldn't tell. I was like, I think it was a net gain, but there was also a lot of times where it was just like.
Do you think it was a net gain?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I felt like it was. I said on the podcast, I felt like it was 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, it was
pretty close
helping
though.
us the whole way
Oh no.
There were times when it was where it was really nice.
I think the whole time it was either kind of into us or from the side. A lot from the left side coming into us. So.
It was nice being in the forest.
Yeah.
Because it was cutting a lot of the wind.
Oh my gosh,
to, the exposed stuff where you really felt it on the pavement.
So what y'all's plan? Are you headed to Dallas tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to go in the morning and hang out with the mom, and she's got a hot tub, and they have a hot tub here, but it doesn't fucking work.
It's not, it's like warm, but it's not hot. It's like one of the ones that it's built in ground beside the pool, so it doesn't have the cover and
We're in like the budget side of the campground. The hot water doesn't work there either, and I called them, and it's like, hey, and they're like, we're getting the propane's out, and we're gonna try to get it filled. And then that was like when we first got here, and then I realized that this is like where everybody lives. That works here, it seems like.
They don't care about you.
No. But the ones over there are hot as fuck. So if you do want to take a shower or anything, go for it.
I do, but I'm gonna. I have an hour and a half. Driving is so weird. I don't like it. But I kind of like it better than riding a bike right now, but it's still weird. I'm like, how does this thing work?
Trying to spin your legs.
Oh man, it's so freaky. But yeah, an hour and a half, and then I can take a shower and
you'll be just like
be in my home.
Yeah.
So excited.
I ran into a chick that was like touring, like full front and rear panniers and front rack, and like she was headed to Florida from California.
Oh, Southern Tier.
Does that go through?
Yeah.
Okay. She was fucking out of it. I saw her at the gas station because I pulled up in Cold Spring or whatever. I was like, hey. And she was just like, oh, hi. I was like, what's up? I don't know, you're on a bike, I'm on a bike, I was just saying hi.
Thought we could talk. That's so funny. Dude, I posted, I don't know if you saw this on my Instagram, but there was 3 guys.
I did see that.
Dude,
like the Hillbilly Boys?
Oh my gosh, dude. It was so
at?
funny.
That looked like maybe outside of Elkhart?
Yeah, coming out of...
Or the pavement going into Elkhart?
Yes, it was a pavement going into Elkhart after, like, Jacksonville. And
that little whoopty area.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, yeah, they're tough.
The Northern Loop has a lot of climbing.
Yeah. Those downhills are fun, though. It's like...
ripping.
Yeah.
It's
pretty wild.
I was doing it at night, and I was, like, trying to save battery on the light, but then I was having to crank it full... Because you're going so fast, and there's, like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the first... when I did the 500-mile, that section was on the route, and I did it at night. It was crazy, man. Pucker factor for sure.
Yeah, you're flying down, and you want to carry the speed because
exactly.
You're going right back up. Where did the 500 go? Is it pretty similar to like where did it start?
It starts in Bryan College Station. It starts in my hometown.
Okay, so you ride all the way out here from there.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the same roads, some of them not.
I mean, you got a good setup going how it is though, with the branding and Point Blank Texas, the Showdown. There's a lot like...
That's the thing that I love about this route is, I mean, other than like when you're around this area of like on Alaska and Trinity and whatnot, you get out there, man, you're just fucking out there.
The stretch through the first National Forest stretch is like, you're out, like, I didn't really see much of anybody out there either. And, like, maybe that's because it was a Friday during the day, but I saw a lot of people in Sam Houston, but it's a beautiful day, and...
Yeah. I feel like it's crazy out here because it's, like, the roads are straight, and they're 2-lane roads, but the speed limit's, like, 60 miles an hour. It's, like... Not a lot of places in the country are like that, where it's just like everywhere you go, like you're booking it.
Everyone's flying. Yeah, that one that I was saying is the worst road on the whole route coming out of Trinity is 70 miles an hour, and there's no shoulder, just a narrow country road, and 70 miles an hour. You're just like, Jesus Christ.
It's crazy.
Do you have any favorite section?
Oh, favorite section.
I guess obviously the National Forest stuff's probably, for me, the favorite. The Death March, I had like a euphoric start to the day. I was like, oh, I feel good today.
Yeah, I felt like that this morning. I started off the morning, I was like, there's no way I'm going to get to the bullet. I don't know what I'm going to do. You can't think about
it, like, that's the thing, it's like, you can't think that far ahead. Or you start doing the math in your head, you're like, I'm averaging this, and then you're like, I want to get here by this time, and then you do the math of what that actually looks like, and you're like, that's not going to happen.
And then by like 11 o'clock this morning, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just do the death loop too. Yeah. And then I was like, just fucking ride and
figure it out
when you get there, or get close or something.
I just kept trying to get myself to stop thinking about the big picture and think about just the next stop.
Yeah.
Who knows how you're gonna feel at it.
The reality is that there's so much time. All you have is your thoughts that you're going to think about every single scenario multiple times.
For sure.
At least
a lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
A whole lot.
Yeah, that's not normal.
I just realized for sure that I can't really play the sleep deprivation game for more than like one night. And then it's over if I don't, like, succeed.
Yeah. I don't have it in me, man. I don't have that, like, fire to like...
race something like this, too?
God.
Like
More
Kuya?
respect. Yes.
I mean, I know his just average speed is obviously so much faster, but it's like, I don't know. Or anything about like the Divide or something, like racing that, like that's so fucked up.
But people finish it in 2 weeks. Isn't it like 14 days?
Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
Miles.
I agree. It's so fucked up. I don't get it.
Like, I don't know how, I don't understand how it's, like, how you just logistically can do that with, like, what you can carry on your body. Like, I mean, I guess you're stopping them getting shit, but I think, like, 70 miles is about as far as I can get with what I had on my bike, like, supply-wise. I was pushing it before I needed more stuff.
Yeah, I had about 70 miles too. That was about my...
Did you bring a battery cache?
Yeah, 2 of them.
Oh, you did? You just drained them?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then did you not have the wall wart to like recharge the cache? Or
So
what
here,
was the,
what happened was, the little brick, the little thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out I had it the whole time.
You did?
No.
Yeah. The night before, when I took everything out of my bag, it was in my top 2 cash bag the whole time, and like I didn't see it till the next day. It was so funny.
Leave that detail out.
Huh?
You can leave that detail out on the podcast.
I said it. I don't care.
It's worth it.
Because is it okay? Because on one hand, I'm happy that I brought it. I wasn't the dumbass that forgot the thing that I needed. I'm the dumbass that had it but didn't know I had it. So which is the worst dumbass? I don't know.
Probably me, the one that had it and then lost it. Showed up to
twice
the event at the wrong. Yeah, the lady at Ratcliffe apparently told on me. Ratcliffe. Who told you I lost my wallet the first time?
Oh yeah. The
she
lady.
Was like, you're lucky. And I was like, you're right, I am. And then I lost it again later.
Yeah. You were only lucky once. Yeah.
I'm hoping that maybe it's it's in there somewhere. It's not actually lost. You just couldn't find it like you. We'll see.
It's hey.
Unpack everything.
The only place that
out,
anything is possible.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like the last time I used it was in Jacksonville, and then I had like a time between there and when I checked the next morning in Salmon Lake, where I was like in the middle of the night just like stopping on random roads and like pulling things out of my pocket and not probably paying attention to.
The problem with the wallet thing is like before you left you bought this neon green like ride wallet thing from dude in St. Louis, and he was like, I'm gonna get this because then I won't lose my wallet ever. Like it's gonna be in here. Like I'll always know where it is because he is a repeat offender of losing the wallet. And I also don't know why. Like years ago, you don't have just like put a tile or an Apple AirTag like in your wallet because it.
Maybe after this.
Well, the other thing too is like a probably stashing like in a separate place from my wallet like $40 and then like another credit card that's separate from it just as like a safety.
Did he tell you that like last year for his work does their retreat every year? So last year they were going to Barcelona. And he landed, and then I just get like a text message, just like 2 a.m. by the time he's like, I just got off the plane and I don't.
I like landed in Spain and then didn't have a wallet as soon as I got into Spain. I was like, oh fuck.
I was like, do you have your passport? He's like, yeah, I have my passport. I just don't have my wallet. So Junior told me. But he got it back that time, so.
I did get it back. So we'll see. I might get it back again.
Might get it back again.
You're funny, Dan.
I don't know, man. I need the chain wallet or something on my bike.
That's what you need.
Like attached to my bike packing rig, like hooked up to my, I don't know, my saddlebag or something. I totally shed all my sleeping gear for the Death March too. Which, has that been brought up by anybody? It's like an obvious thing that I feel like nobody talks about, that it's available to everybody, like shed weight.
Yeah, that's totally within, it's on route. Yeah, you can totally do that.
Because it's nice, because I've topped off like snacks too, and or just like, I mean, I guess last year I did the same because we were camped there. I had like a change of clothes, put fresh clothes on.
Yeah, it's one of the fun things about the Death Loop is that you can use it in that manner.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to ride past your car and everything and keep going, the least you can do is take advantage of some of the benefits
at least
of that.
have like some supplies in there.
Yeah, why not? So yeah, it's fair. It's neutral. It's on route.
Not that I was a clean run anyways.
Yeah, but
not that I care either. So.
All right, I'm gonna get home.
All right, man. Hey, let me get you your own bird.
Oh, you don't want them?
I mean, he does want them.
You take them.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Those are yours.
I was pretty sold on it by the end of that ride.
The Umbras?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
just
pretty cool.
They feel super stable. Like, I don't lose them because they just hang around your neck.
That's their main quality.
They need Umbra's wallets is what they need.
Problem.
Yeah, I don't want to use those.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the episode so far. I am going to tie a bow on this one because that last day I recorded a segment. And I intended to record another one before I actually finished, but I just didn't have it in me. I really, towards the end, it was taking everything I had mentally and physically to just keep my head in the game and ride my damn bike and literally just get to the finish line. That Sunday morning when I woke up, I was like, there is no way I'm going to make it to the bullet. I just kind of had some doubt there at the beginning of the day, but as the day went on, I was able to start to wrap my head around it. But it took a lot of effort. And so I didn't record there towards the end. And so anyway, thought I'd just share some thoughts, some reflections on the end of it. This whole thing was really spurred on by Hannah Simon when in 2022 during the pre-race meeting of the East Texas Showdown, we opened it up to questions. And her question was, have you ever ridden the entire route? And I had to say no. And I was like, ooh, that kind of stings. I don't like that. And I'd always intended to ride the whole route. I've ridden a lot of it and very familiar with the area, but I'd never ridden this route in this order ever. And so that was really the impetus for this whole thing, and really was probably my largest underlying goal with doing this ITT. I really wanted to ride the whole route. I wanted to see it. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to be able to relate better to other people that had either done it before or were coming to do it, so I could advise them better on what to expect. And so for me, whenever it came down to the very last day and I was heading into the Bullet Grill, which for me was at mile 340 on the route, I didn't have any desire to keep going, to keep pushing. I was finishing at night. I would have had to have ridden 65 miles all through the night, and I just didn't have anything really left in the tank emotionally, physically, or like desire wise. So to be honest, it was a pretty easy decision. I didn't toil over it too much. I certainly had lots of time to think about it, and I did think about it, and I thought to myself while I was doing it that future me wouldn't be disappointed, and I'm not. So really one of the other factors in my decision is that the Death Loop is very, very similar to the Sam Houston Restaurant Tour, which is a route that I put out many years ago that's on bikepacking.com that many people are familiar with. And I've personally ridden that route so many times. And I just couldn't muster the enthusiasm to go essentially ride that route one more time after I'd already done 340 miles. But it actually turned out really good for me because I've been, ever since the Scarlett and Flint episode, if you'll remember, that's the one where Scarlett and Flint rode the Tour Divide together as father and daughter. And at the time, Scarlett was only 13 years old. I have a 13-year-old daughter, so my daughter listened to that episode, and we started to think big, and that inspired us to try to make some plans for this summer and maybe a little bike tour of our own. And right now we have the idea of doing the Katy Trail in Missouri this summer sometime, which is 240 miles. It's rails to trail there across the state of Missouri. Not too far from home, and I think a good entryway into bike packing, bike travel, bike touring for me and a 13-year-old. And so when I got back home, having not completed the Death Loop, I had spring break coming up with the girls. And so, I mean, it was kind of a crazy week because spring break was the week that we were doing the East Texas Showdown that weekend. But I had Lila on Monday and Tuesday, and I said, fuck it, let's go ride the Death Loop together. And so she was down. She was excited to give it a try. This would be her longest bikepacking trip to date. And so very quickly, I threw a bunch of gear onto the tandem. I hadn't unpacked from my ITT. I was kind of just transferring stuff from one bike over to the tandem, threw that all together rather quickly. And then before you know it, I was right back out to the Bullet Grill to finish the Showdown route, which is the Death Loop, with my 13-year-old daughter. And we did. That's what we did. It went awesome. We both, my butt was way more sore. My knees hurt a lot more than I was expecting because it had been about, I guess, 6 days since I had finished my ITT. And I really thought that I was recovered. I thought I was going to be feeling very fit and very strong. But it really surprised me how sore my ass was. But I couldn't complain because I had to keep things positive with Lila there. And we did. We kept it positive. She had a little bit of pain too. But, you know, we had a good attitude about it. She said that her butt got up to a 6 out of 10, which seems reasonable. And, you know, we talked through how some level of pain is acceptable. And anytime you exercise and you're stretching your muscles or pushing your muscles in your body and your abilities, you know, there is going to be pain and discomfort associated with that, but trying to make a distinction between, you know, what is a tolerable level of pain and, you know, where it crosses over the threshold into ungodly, unbearable, oh my gosh, I'm not having fun. And that was an important theme and something that I really wanted to instill in her before we went on this ride, is that even though I had, I was going out there with a personal goal to complete the Showdown route. I also really didn't care if we needed to call it short for any reason. I told her, I'm like, the priority here is fun. You know, we are doing this to have fun. We're doing this as a way to gauge where you're at. We're gauging our equipment. You know, we're starting the process of trying to get to our goal. And you know, what we're doing right now is not the goal. It is part of the process, and things could go wrong, and we're learning, and that's what we're doing right now. And so I felt like that was an important conversation to have with her. I felt like it went really well. I feel like that helped take the pressure off of her, so she knew that we're just having fun. We're learning. We have goals. This is what we're going to try to do. But if it doesn't work out, that is okay. And we're going to learn from that. We're going to grow from that. We're going to change some things, and we're going to get better. And so maybe just a thought for other parents out there taking your kids to do stuff like this is set those or similar type expectations. But the long story short is that we had a great trip. She's been exposed to the outdoors quite a bit since I'm her dad through the years. And it went great. She loves the outdoors. We slept in individual hammocks. She's just great. She's a great person to have around camp. She doesn't get scared of weird sounds or creepy crawly bugs or anything. I mean, she doesn't love them, but she just kind of goes with the flow. She's very relaxed and calm in the outdoors, and it was pretty cool. She's actually getting into photography, and so while the sun was coming down and we were in that golden hour, I essentially gave her like a photography lesson. I'm no master photographer, but I know the basics. I know some of the fundamentals. And so we started to practice with those and give her a chance to like explore her own creative vision and her own storytelling. And that was fun. She enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And it was just a kind of a cool thing to do, her and I, without any distractions. It was a really nice moment. And from a father's perspective, it was very edifying. It was, it was actually one of the first times that I ever started to kind of get sad about the fact that in 5 years she's going to be, probably moving off and having her own life. And, I really tried to like soak up that weekend, soak up the fact that, she's excited to ride with dad, that she's having fun, that, during the ride, she's excited to tell me things about what's going on and tell me about her friends and all these things, and I started to think like, she's not going to do that forever. These are special moments, and it was a really great time, and I'm really glad I did it. It did put a little bit of strain on my week leading up to the East Texas Showdown, but definitely worth it. So I can now say that with my daughter's help, I've ridden the entire 400 miles. I feel great about it. It was a great experience. It's something that I needed that I didn't even know that I needed. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you probably know that I kind of fell out of love with the racing aspect of it from a personal standpoint. I love to follow it. I'm very impressed by the abilities of the human body, the people that can push themselves to extreme limits over, days and weeks. Like, it's just mind blowing to me. But it's not something that it's not I don't have that same like drive to do that. It's something that I've kind of let go and has essentially been missing from my style of riding for probably about 5 years now. And, this was really good for me because one thing that it did give me was the reminder and the perspective of how hard ultra endurance racing or ultra endurance bike packing is. Certainly it, but like just how type 2 fun, after a while, all the aches and the pains and the bad parts just kind of fade away, and somehow you only remember the good parts. And so this was a good reminder because I've ridden, further than this before, but I had forgotten how freaking hard it is. And I think that's a really great perspective for me as somebody who, talks to people in this space for a living. It was a really good reminder, and it was a humbling experience to have that perspective and to be reminded of how tough it is, how it drains on your body, your psyche, on your soul, on your body, your hands, your feet, your neck, your back, your knees, your everything, and how is to be like away from your family and your friends and your couch and your shower and, driving through Taco Bell or whatever it is. Like, it just really, it's a tough endeavor. It is an endurance endeavor, and it is not easy. And so, I think it just gave me a renewed sense of appreciation for ultra endurance bike packing and these people that can just push their body and minds to places where I can barely imagine. Maybe I get a little peek of it whenever I do something like this. And I hope that is a valuable lesson that I continue to take with me. And, I'm not done this year. I've made a commitment to do the Arizona Trail Race this October. So I'll have another chance. That's kind of like my other bigger goal for this year that I'm working towards is, regaining some fitness, some, mental toughness, some endurance, and that's what I'm building up to. And I think this was a really good stepping stone at the beginning of the year for bigger things to come this year. So let's see, what other notes? One other funny note about this episode, you heard there at the end, Ben and I, we were chatting after we both had finished. He had been done for a little while. After I finished, I went over and we chatted for a little bit. We had talked about how he was lucky the first time losing his wallet and somebody turned it back in. Well, you won't believe this, but the day of the East Texas Showdown, I got a text from Ben who said that somebody found his wallet and was mailing it to him like 10 days after he lost it, which is incredible. And so I actually talked to him yesterday about it. And this lady somewhere out in East Texas, we don't know the exact story, but somehow she found his wallet laying on the side of the road. All the money, everything was still in there, and she mailed it back to him. And so Ben was, in fact, lucky twice. He lost his wallet twice in East Texas, and both times it was delivered to him, which I hope says something about people, humanity, and maybe even a little bit about East Texas. I have to say that was another great takeaway, something that I'm not ignorant to, I'm aware of, but it's a great reminder how wonderful the people are when you see them en route. That's something that really stood out to me. I felt like almost all the cars were courteous. I didn't have any encounters along the route with people or anything that was in any way negative. Like, everybody's just so friendly. They're curious. They're excited. They're interested. They're just like kind of laid back. And I think that they have like a more laid back, like, one thing you got to know about East Texas is it's just out there. There's just it's not a high density population area. And I think it makes people more relaxed, I guess. I liked it. Well, this has been a long episode, so I think I will wrap it up. I enjoyed this style of episode. I think this one was a little bit better than the last one, but I would like to keep kind of honing this style of podcast, this episode. I do think I can make them better, certainly improve the audio quality and kind of the storyline, the storytelling, the through line of the podcast. But I hope you've enjoyed it. These are kind of fun and hopefully a great way to kind of help people that are getting into bike packing understand maybe the process that someone who's pretty regular guy would go through and goes through on an event like this or an endeavor like this. So one last thing I'll leave you with is, you notice we didn't have any ads this week, but I will sneak one in here just super quick. Because at the end of, let me back up. At the beginning, we were in the parking lot at the Bullet, and Ben realized he forgot his sunglasses. So before the clock started, this is not support. I had an extra pair of Umbras that was hanging from my rearview mirror, and I was like, "Here, you can take these. You can have these." He really liked them. You heard what he had to say, and I actually just wound up giving him those Umbras, and those are now his. But I thought that was a great testimony. Obviously, he wasn't paid. He just happened to lose or misplace his glasses. I had some sunglasses there for him, so he rode them on a bike packing event. I used mine during this event, and I really, from a bike packing and a simplicity standpoint, yes, they're comfortable because it's not smashing with your helmet, which is cool. But I like being able to just hang around my neck. I don't want to have to like have a dedicated place in my bag and, you know, jam them in there, maybe have them get scratched, try to find them later, put them back on and play that whole like charades of taking in things in and out. There's enough of that going on. And so like the more you can simplify and streamline your process, for me, the better. And Ombras are a legitimately simplified piece of gear that I like. And so if you want to try them out for yourself, we do have a pretty sweet deal over at Ombras. If you use the code BOD20 at checkout, they will give you $20 off any pair of sunglasses, and they'll send $20 to Bikes or Death as a thank you. So it's a pretty sweet deal. So to check it out, go to ombraz.com. That's OMBRAZ.com. And when you check out, don't forget to use the code BOD20 and let me know what you think about them. I hope you like them. All right, well, that is it for this week. It's been a long one. We haven't done a long one in a while. I hope nobody is too sick of hearing my voice. I know I'm sick of editing my voice. Let me wrap this one up and get it out to all you beautiful people. But until next week, you know what to do. Go ride your damn bike.